Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to the season finale of Wizards and Wardrobe Season 2. I've got my announcements, we'll put those in chat right now. We have social links, we have Patreon, we have merch. They extended the code ROBOT25, so you can still get 25% discount with that code if you go and use it like in the next 24 hours or something like that, I don't know. Check it out. We have sponsors in Bird in the Storm Publishing and Mage Hand Press. But today is a finale day, and I have a lot of content to get through. So without much further ado, let's go round and say hello to all of our wonderful, wonderful cast members. Let's go clockwise around and end up in the middle, where I think we'll begin the session also. Chorus. Oh, hi.
Hi.
Oh, yeah.
I'm playing Red Leaf. I want to die.
That's about as good an ambition as anything, I think, going into a finale, not wanting to die. That's a good, strong motivation. Next around, we have the devious Talinia.
Devious? How could I be devious when I sound like this?
So innocent. Oh, so innocent.
I am Talinia. I am also Rachel. That's my real name. I am going to be playing, as I always have, Taziel the Asthma Warlock, and I think my voice sounds suitably in character stressed today.
Oh, yes.
And
Oh,
I
yes.
don't want anyone else to die.
Another good, strong goal. We don't want anyone to die, essentially. That's good so far. Next around, we have Tahina and Ale.
Hi everyone, I'm Tahina. I am playing Forja Flamemane, the daughter of the desert. And I also don't want anyone to die. I want to save the city. I want to take that demon down. That's my goal.
Take down demons. Such noble goals you all have.
We're heroes after all.
We can be heroes, just for one day.
Come on.
Next around we have Charlie.
Hello, I am playing Dave, the Wild Magic Sorceress Kenku. Dave's goals include keeping her egg warm, checking on her ogre buddy, catching up with the crew because she was away for some of the ongoing shenanigans after the boat mission. She has to make sure that she's back in city in time to jump off the roof at dusk, and that there is a city and a roof that she can jump off of. So those are goals.
Those are goals. Very specific goals for a very specific and well-beloved character. Thank you,
Saving
Charlie.
Rapture is also on the list too.
Somewhere further down.
He's a new friend.
After four. Last but most certainly not least. Oh, hi, Stuart.
Hi everybody, I'm Stuart. I'm not going to tell you my Twitter handle because it's probably changing in a week. Hey, but for the next week, you can see it's just below me. I'm playing Rapture tonight, probably for about half an hour, and then I'm probably going to go have a nap after Scrat kills me. I'm only joking.
No, I would never be so cruel. Never ever would I be so cruel.
He says, donning. Oh right, I thought you were putting a toga on, like you're gonna be
Oh
like.
no. We're
It's
pulling
too-
back a little something from season 1 right here.
Okay, well, yeah. I'm Stuart. I'm kind of tired tonight as well. I think everybody is though. So be prepared for some of us to lose our words at some point tonight and be unable to talk.
What time? About 5 minutes ago, I told I told the guys in Zoom that we had half an hour until we're live instead of 30 seconds.
Well, when you started doing your countdown at the beginning, I was about to launch into my opening spiel for Kurion, so I had to. Good job, I was muted.
It's alright. I nearly did the introduction that I would do on Roll Up, which isn't on this channel either. So.
Yeah.
Tee-hee. Well, let's begin, shall we? Stuart, you were visited yesterday by Thalja. Or Rapture was visited, rather. Stuart, I'm sure, was doing his own things.
I was.
Thalja basically just checked that you were okay. She left happy that you were in good health and good standing. I just made some thing up about you complaining about Jarlaxle in general quietly or something. Your cell is by no means depraved. You have a table, chair. You are served meals, and even given wine. After all, you are a voluntary prisoner. However, the bars are still there.
Well, obviously I haven't drunk the wine. Rapture doesn't drink. But am I bound in any way?
No,
I'm not.
they have not bound your hands. They're keeping you there as a prisoner of faith.
Am I gagged?
You are not.
Fantastic. This is going to make this a lot easier.
You can do as much as much magic as you like.
Yeah, but it's just only the same magic as yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Late into the evening, or is it early morning? You're not really sure. You were paid a visit. You recognize the form of Jarlaxle as his boots jingle down the stairs, and he enters the room. Not disturbing you, am I?
Oh, well, it isn't my favorite rhinestone cowboy. How are we all doing today?
I'm doing rather well, thank you. I had quite a pleasant evening, actually.
Oh, so I hear. You're on
Yeah.
a date with the rather imitable sister of mine.
Why, yes. And I must say, she is a delight. It's, changed my perspective on a lot of things.
Getting decked generally does that to a person.
Yes. I would
Sorry,
like...
Britishism there.
I would like us to get along, Rapture. The pair of us. I feel like it might be important in the future. I feel like there's maybe services and assets that we can service each other with that will be useful to one another.
Well, I mean, I have no wayward disposition towards you. So, I don't see why that's couldn't exactly be a problem.
Yes. I have a feeling after the events of today... Scratches his nose for a second. After the events of today, I have a feeling that it might be soon time to get rid of the old puppet strings.
And which puppet strings would these be?
Oh, you know.
No,
All
I
of them.
don't. That's actually why I asked.
All of
All
them.
of them, you say.
Oh, yes.
But there is always but one puppet string which will always remain, Jarlaxle.
Which one is that, Rapture?
Mortality, you dingus.
Well, yes and no, I suppose. Yes and no. Ways and means, my old chum. Ways and means.
Would you rather have several orders of paladins chasing you all across existence because you decided to get yourself all litchy?
Oh, no, I'm sure there are other ways. Wonderful the things I've found. You can't imagine the wonders I discovered moving from the Underdark to up here. I mean, of course, without this little eye patch, I'd probably be blind half the time, but once you learn to shield your gaze from the glaring sun, you can start to appreciate how it glimmers on the water.
Oh, I did not know you practiced poetry, Jarlaxle.
Oh, not poetry, just persuasion, dear Rapture.
Those two are not remotely... Okay, right. So I'd assume that you're not going to, off with my head me today. Or is that simply something you're going to do after you've finished dealings?
You will certainly be a part of the proceedings. Now, how that plays out will be interesting. But what I will say right now is that the interesting thing about working for a puppet master who loves chaos is when you give them the tools to sow some real confusion, or take out a big figure. They just can't help themselves.
Well, my blood runs as red as the next person, but I'm not really one for anarchy. My preference would be the opposite of chaos, really. I mean, maybe not too far in the opposite, a little bit in the middle, you know.
Oh yes, definitely. I think it is time for a well, I wonder actually, are you of the same disposition as your sweet sister? Do
It
you
depends.
believe it is time for Waterdeep to have a revolution? Throw off the shackles of the hidden lords and get rid of the secret agents such as the Harpers and the Unseen that prey on the innocent and the damned alike.
Are you insinuating that a society can exist that does not have hidden and shadowed elements?
Oh no, not at all. All I'm saying is you can make them the legal authority, like me and my Golden Company, or the Brigandierth, if you prefer.
So what you're saying is that you replace the Harpers and the Unseen and all of these lords and such with yourself?
I make them accountable.
Make them accountable. Accountability. Such a noble cause.
Well, the nice thing about accountability is it's very easy to account for. You can make some profit when you know how to account for things.
Profit.
Always profit, my dear Rapture. You're not
find
making
it-
a profit.
I find it hard to believe that all of this is about profit. Come now, Jarlaxle. Even with an eye patch on, you're longer sighted than just that. Someone such as yourself would never be so naive as to just focus on glinting of gold.
Oh, no, not the glinting of gold. No.
Oh, sorry, platinum. Sorry, your taste is too fine for regular old gold coins.
No, dear Rapture, no. I don't care much for the gold itself. That's dragons. You've got me confused. No, I like all the fine things that it can buy. He touches his hat and swills his wine. It is rather fine. I understand you don't drink, these guards tell me, but that really is a very, very fine reserve.
Well, I'm sure that the reserve is wonderful, delicious. But here's the thing. There's wine here, and a cheap wine that you would buy in the slums of Waterdeep. They're both grapes in the end. And you are a grape as well. Purple, full of seeds, and bitter if you leave them alone too long.
I can see that you two are maybe slightly bitter, or perhaps you're like one of the fish on the harbour, a little bit salty.
Not perhaps salty, it just not as occluded by the coins on our eyes to pay the gatekeeper.
Ah, yes. Everyone has to pay the ferryman now. Eventually.
Only if one finds oneself on the Styx.
Indeed.
Which river do you travel?
I beg your pardon?
Well, do you travel the Styx or the Oceanus?
I don't like to take on to the rivers. I don't know how to swim.
Well, Styx it is.
We'll see. Rapture, I've got a feeling that you're not a morning person, and I feel as though I might have woken you up. But I think we're possibly getting off to the wrong foot. Why don't we have a little talk later on?
Well, you can talk right now. I have no issue with it, but there is no wrong foot to get off on. But if you feel like you need a break from conversing with me, be my guest. Everyone needs a break from greatness.
Such a sharp tongue, Rapture. You are a delight. I will thoroughly look forward to conversing with you more some later. But At the moment, I am still high from the revelries of enjoying a wonderful evening with your sister. She sends her regards, by the way. Didn't seem that interested in visiting you in the end, but she did send her regards, and we've made such wonderful agreements. For the good of
Well-
Waterdeep, you understand.
Oh, of course. I'm fairly sure it's all for the good of Waterdeep. Enjoy your wine, my friend.
Raises a toast, and you hear his jingling feet begin to walk up the stairs with a sort of light tinkling chuckle on the air.
I just hum the lyrics to Rhinestone Cowboy as he goes.
Let's pan across. Dave, Fauja, Tazzy, Redleaf.
Are we back in the warehouse in the docks, or are we in that tavern that we? Okay, in the warehouse.
Yeah, you guys ended up in the warehouse in the end altogether, with the letter from Tazzy.
Is this the following morning?
This is the following morning after you went and made your agreements.
Yeah. I haven't had much sleep. You guys awake yet?
Fire never sleeps. Faja is sitting by the bin and holding the egg warm.
I should have snuggled up closer to you. This place is cold.
Would you like me to make a fire? Yeah.
I mean, I don't see any harm in it. It's one of those, gets awfully humid down here.
I
And
can do
what's
something
cold
about that.
Creeps into your bones.
And Faja will create a bonfire in the middle of the wherever it would be safest.
I'll warm up my hands. I look to see if Dave
With
and...
Betty
Oh,
for breakfast.
thank you. Yes, I could do with something. Thank you.
For Charlie, Dave, Tahina took everyone back to Fauja and yours place of residence provided by the glassblowers yesterday, hence how you are in the scene. You are at your home, essentially.
That's
we're
not
at the
quite
house.
true. We're in the warehouse where we slept the first night because
The
I
first night
didn't want because that other was an apartment house and I didn't know how hunted we would be and I didn't want the whole apartment to blow
And
up.
Dave's dad's office then would be in the front of this building.
Yeah, you could have just spent last session just catching up with your dad, I guess. I mean, we could roleplay it, but we will confuse everyone
It's
again.
fine. It's fine.
Hey, Redleaf, are you awake yet?
Redleaf has been awake and is just kind of fiddling with their knives and just kind of trying to keep them nice and sharp with a small grindstone or whetstone, and has just been kind of pulling them across it.
And Dave has sidled up next to Fauja, next to the bonfire. Dave likes it warm, and she helps herself to a good berry as well.
Faja will hug Dave close and give her a kiss on the head. Did you sleep well, Dave?
Yes.
No change in the egg. I tried to keep it warm with the fire, but no change.
Dave is going to go and inspect her egg.
Despite Fauja's claims that there's no change, you're sure it almost feels warmer. Looks a little more... Is that glowing or is that just a trick of your eyes? You're not sure.
I think Taziel is just kind of staring into the fire. She looks visibly a bit jittery. She's probably pulled on her today's clothes as well, I think.
Dave very gently knocks on the egg and puts her ear against it. That's really disconcerting with the noise cancelling headphones.
I don't know how that sounds through a microphone. It sounds sort of like a heartbeat in IRL.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Oh, good.
Like from when you go to doctor's office, right?
Mm-hmm. Like a stethoscope.
Yeah.
It's a little fast, a little fluttery.
Dave will bring the little egg in its little pail closer to the fire. And stretch.
You do look a bit shaken this morning, Tazi.
Oh,
Did he try to get fresh with you? I never asked last night. Do you need me to stop him? I will totally do that.
No. There's no need for stabbings just yet, and I would consider things carefully before you try. I believe he could kill any one of us quite easily, quite quickly. Which is why I thought it might be better to try and find a method to take down this demon puppeteer that does not involve any of us losing our lives to Jarlaxle in the process.
And you could convince him.
I'm not sure. I don't trust him, of course. I think you'd have to be mad to trust him. But we did sign a contract last night. I didn't say anything about it last night because, well, if I'm honest, I was exhausted. But
I'm sorry, you did what?
I didn't have much of another choice. He has my brother, Redleaf. But I believe I have pitched a suggestion that is more profitable for him in the long run than some ill-begotten war between provinces. He says, well, he signed that he will not go creating a war between Waterdeep and Neverwinter. The two cities will not be reduced to rubble for profit. However, I agreed to help him dismantle those hidden lords of Waterdeep whose businesses are not 100%.
And what about the demon?
The demon, he also agreed he would assist us in eradicating, on the proviso that he does get holdings in the Feywild, perhaps the court of Bluetongue once we have vanquished Bluetongue himself. But myself, I would be put in a position of somewhat of an overseer or advisor, I suppose, to keep an eye on him in this process.
Okay. I see.
At the very least, we might avert a war.
There are assassins afoot.
But I would rather steer the blade of the assassin to cause a little less damage than provoke all-out slaughter, if you understand.
Yeah. Dave, what do you mean with the assassins? On the court in the Feywild or here with the demon?
And she just reaches out one-winged and points directly at Tiziel. It is written.
What?
She said it is written. We are meant to do what we are doing now.
Yes, we are, which is why I believe, why I believe what I have to do, and it'll be fine, and my brother will be safe.
The good thing is that Rapture seems to be fine. He was his usual self. I can't claim that I really did understand everything he told me, because I rarely do, but he seemed fine.
If he's making long verbose monologues that go over even your head, I'm sure he's in his right mind.
Yeah, I don't think he appreciated them bringing him so much wine.
No, I'm sure he didn't. He's not a big drinker.
The thing that I still don't understand is why Jarlaxle would do something like this. Is like, what's the reasoning? Why, after all these years, does he want to just essentially own Waterdeep? Why now?
Well, as far as I understand, I think he's had enough of establishments to some extent. I think he wishes to step out of the shadows. I think, to some extent, I believe he wishes to be seen in the public eye, but not as some drow instigator of war. I think he sees it more beneficial to have a bit more of a official legitimacy in the city.
I mean, Drow are rare, but it's not like they're ostracized here. It's just so odd.
No, but you
There
can't
might be
say
something
there
else
is.
going on.
I don't doubt it, but you can't admit there isn't discrimination against what isn't the norm in Waterdeep to some extent, despite what people claim. I frequently have seen my brother deal with it. All the
There's
time.
a knock at the door.
I will cross to the door and open it.
The secret stands outside, garbed in hood, with a cloaked figure next to him, whom he shoves inside.
Good morning, father.
Good
And she
morning.
does this bow.
He also
Do
does
you-
the bow.
Who do you bring us?
You may cast back your hood, Samir. These are friends. He was released yesterday.
He knows us.
Neil, is it
Hop
you?
up and sorry.
Sorry, after you.
I was gonna say Dave's just gonna hop up and go and inspect Samil.
Hello, my friends.
How are you?
Is it really you, Smil?
Yes.
Good. Well, at least that's a start.
Listen. Whilst you were gone, before you were gone, but it's been so cleverly executed. Whilst you were gone, the Golden Company has been outing the known lords, finding reasons to have them executed just like they've eventually found one for me. The Hidden Lords haven't spoken up. I fear they've already been taken out in secret. I haven't heard a word from my contact in the Harpers. Redleaf, I've put it about that I am the last Harper. I wasn't sure if you were returning. What I'm saying is we need to rebuild. We have nothing. Through lies,
What do you mean we're the last Harpers?
no one is on the grapevine. No
But we-
one.
But we heard that already. I thought we didn't know that they were hunting the lords and the harpers, right?
Yes, but what I'm saying is... Last night, Lord Bregan was murdered. He was one of the last Open the Lords. Now I am the last Open Lord, and this is why I come masked as I am. The Seeker steps forward. I do not know what patron it is that this Jarlaxle is serving, but soon they will have Waterdeep in the palm of their hands. I would like to make a plan to try and assassinate Jarlaxle during the execution.
We not focus our attention on this patron.
What about the demon? We need to get to the demon.
Yes.
Jarlaxle is a powerful puppet. But
I
he
worry
is a
that-
puppet.
I worry that
Listen.
Jarlaxle is a distraction.
This
The
could
demon is
be.
trying to throw us off the scent.
This could be. This could be.
We need to focus on Blue Tongue.
But
That's
yes.
the most important thing.
There has
I'm
been no
pursuing my
sign,
brother.
no trace of Blue Tongue whatsoever. My only thought at this time is that if we manage to assassinate Jarlaxle, Blue Tongue, you say, will be forced to move their hand.
I don't agree. I think we need to use Jarlaxle in order to get to Blue Tongue.
Likewise, I believe that Jarlaxle already possesses many of the lords or not influential figures in captivity, and if we were to move against him, he will instantly execute them from the shadows.
I saw Blue Tongue yesterday.
Waterdeep will simply be in chaos. There will be nothing to rebuild.
You saw Blue Tongue yesterday?
I
Sorry,
did.
Tezia.
He tricked me. I was following him and then he put me in this thing, and she is grabbing hold of this black silk piece and unfolds it. I heard it is called a portable hole. It is like it's a bit like the desert in very small and without a desert inside, but you can put things in there. And they put me in there. How dare they?
How dare they?
And on the ship, on Jarlaxle's ship, there was this circle made out of runes and energy, like pathway, like a portal over to the Feywild, and it had been recently active. I think that Blue Tongue put this piece on the doorway so I would fall through and be trapped while he got back to the Feywild. So we do need Jarlaxle in order to draw him back.
Can you be sure, Valja, that it was definitely Blue Tongue that you saw?
He did this, and his tongue wasn't blue. So I'm reasonably sure that
It's
it was him, and no one saw him but me. So
It's like, why do we care about this demon anyway? We
Demon
need.
is the object of the prophecy, the whole point.
it is the demon who is behind all this.
Yes.
No, it's like, what are we supposed to do against them? Just throw knives at them? It's a
We
demon.
burn him.
We need to make sure that Waterdeep herself is safe. Not go after some painting in.
The
Why
demon
do you
is
think
the
I went
greatest
on?
danger for Waterdeep. The demon is the greatest danger for all things.
I
It
worry.
endangered the desert.
I worry that we are chasing a myth. That we have literally been placed on a wild goose chase.
The
That-
myth that put the Archfey in a necrotic prison in the Feywild. Now, forgive me, but that doesn't seem something Jarlaxle is capable of. He's not that great a sorcerer.
I also disagree. When we were in the desert, there was already wild magic afoot, and it followed us here. And the demon took hold of the desert.
It's
And
like,
you are going to tell me this is not related? I don't believe that 1 second.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's nothing we can do about this demon.
I say burn it, and things will dissolve. It will be
Yes,
much
burn the demon that's probably from like the 9 hells. Yes, that's a wonderful idea.
Hang on.
Well, you
hang
know what's good against demons, Redleaf? Radiance.
This is a waste of time. We need to go after Jarlaxle.
I'm working on Jarlaxle.
Before it starts.
Okay, I didn't go on that detestable dinner date last night for nothing.
Then what are we standing here for then? Let's go kill him.
No, we use Jarlaxle, we get Rapture, and then we get the
Yes.
demon.
We turn on Jarlaxle now. Rapture is as good as dead. I'm not allowing that.
Listen. I still have my powers. I will return to the holding with Samir. We will wait your signal.
Oh.
Give me the signal, and we will spring upon Jarlaxle. If you can
But-
find proof of Blue Tongue, or if you can figure out some way to lure him out of the Feywild, I will also be ready to aid you.
The thing you gave me, do you want it back?
No, Valja. Hide it somewhere.
It is hidden. What about the stone? Is it something we could use to fight?
I will use it if we need to fight.
Okay. How would I call you? How would we call you?
He's going to take out a small piece of glass. It looks like one of the very first pieces you ever made and sold.
Oh.
And he's going to hand it to you. There is
where
a
did you get
message.
that?
I was always watching, Valja.
I see.
There is. Does anyone here understand the message cantrip? Essentially, you
Have
can
Gus
talk to
for
me.
it.
Okay.
You use Gust for it, it will work just like that. Just touch the earring, and you can communicate with me, and I will be able to respond.
No, well, he's.
Very well.
Well,
I will call you when we are ready, when the demon appears.
I will be
Or
waiting.
when there is a good moment when we do have to when we have Rapture and it is possible to kill Jarlaxle without endangering one of our numbers. Does that sound agreeable to you?
Yes. Yes, indeed it does.
Dave is still near to Samil, and she's gonna take his hand and say, "We are a weird tent, okay?" And as she does that, she uses minor illusion to put a face on top of hers just briefly, and it's his face. And then she removes it and she gives him a wink. Dave has ideas too.
When Samuel looks up and meets your gaze, you notice you have to change your minor illusion slightly, for he has more scars and burn marks than he did before.
Potatoes!
These are healed now. Thank you,
Dave
Dave.
doesn't understand how things work.
We will retreat. You do not have long. I believe the execution will be starting soon. In fact, best head to the square. The crowd will already be gathering.
Okay.
Good luck, my daughter.
Wait, have
Thank
they?
you, Father.
Sorry to intrude. Have they slept already?
Yeah, this is the following morning.
Yes, in the
Yes.
morning.
Right, because there was something I wanted to do.
Oh yes, we're
during
going.
that night.
Okay.
Just before we leave this scene, Tazil, there is a second note in the papers that you'll notice on the table. Just a small slip, one you wouldn't have noticed yesterday, but now more awake, you can see it. Just says, "Trust me." And with that, we'll pan Jarlaxle's handwriting.
I wanted to get a
Hmm.
moment with Taziel real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Redleaf will just kind of pull her aside. Just like, I know this is a very stressful situation right now, but don't snap at me like that. I care about him just as much as you. It seems you have forgotten that in the past few days, and that concerns me.
I haven't forgotten.
We are getting too much caught up in our new friends' prophecies and demons. What we need to we need to take care of the things that we know how to take care of, which is my friend and your brother, and the city.
I know I'm doing everything in my power to stop this city becoming a bloodbath.
And I know that. But it's not going to help our cause if you snap at me as so.
I'm sorry. I won't do it again. It's just been difficult 24 hours.
It's fine. We just need to keep our heads and not get stuck in these. I don't know what they have. These flights of fancy. It is simply a matter of sense. We can either deal with Jarlaxle or we can die to this demon. It is powerful enough to hold your patron, my father. It is not something that we can deal with. None of us has that kind of power right now. We need to keep that in mind, not throw ourselves at it if we get the chance.
I suppose it will depend on whether if we can draw it out into the open.
Well, we need to try to avoid that, but for right now, we need to go get your brother.
We do. As far as I can tell, Jarlaxle is keen on turning against his patron.
Well, if that's the case, then we'll bring him to our side. But if that's not the case, I will not hesitate to put a knife in his throat.
Neither will I. Why do you think I spent so long making sure I could be close to him for exactly that purpose? Hopefully, when that time comes, we can both slip the knife between his
All right,
ribs.
Tazzy, this is exactly what I mean. You are assuming that me saying something is a slight against you. It's not. I need you to breathe. I'm your sister. And she gives you a hug.
I hug her back.
I care about you both. Now let's go find that blue-skinned son of a bitch before he gets his head chopped off. Let's go.
Yes.
Dave actually has one more thing to say to Samuel. Really quick.
Yeah, go
I
for it.
figured out how to say it. So it says, "Your place, your tent, is given by me, hidden lords." And she like points around the room at each of the people who stand here.
You mean you could run Waterdeep?
No.
Hidden Lords?
Yes.
Protectors?
Looks
Yes.
like we got a new friend.
I trust you. I trust you all. I trust you like I trust the secret here. He's become a dear friend. And the secret will take a moment with Fauja. And he will just say, I hope like you do. Hopefully today we can be rid of Blue Tongue. And we can restore this place to its original gods.
Yes.
To the elementals that bore this plane as should be.
Looks like we got a new friend.
I agree. I also hope it will have an effect on the desert, because I think it might be the same demon, right? I mean, I do believe what I said, that it followed us here, and that if we stand our ground here, it will not only have this plane but others as well. After all, this demon has been traversing the plains and has been wreaking many chaos and havoc in the Feywild, here, in the desert. Who I don't know where else it has been, so
And
I
if it's
think it is time someone takes a stand.
masquerading as Blue Tongue, I fear that it may have many faces. Together,
think-
we will beat this thing.
I think it is Lucian's father.
Okay. Listen, we do not have much time. I must go.
Yes, I know.
I would like to quickly lean into Redleaf and say, Redleaf, I worry that everyone has different ideas for the reconstruction of Waterdeep.
There was nothing wrong with it to begin with. We need to get the lords back, and we need to make sure that everything goes back to the way it was. This whole revolution thing is nonsense.
You weren't born here, darling. And I make to leave.
Every place has its issues.
We'll pan across there to Rapture in the night.
Forja would like to hug her father before he goes. In this very awkward moment of, I don't know how to do this, but I'm going to do it because... Yeah.
All right. In the night, before all of this happens in the morning, Rapture is going to cast Dream. And the messenger is going to seek out Taziel. And what this means, I basically become the illusion master of Taziel's dream that she has that night. And so, as Taziel falls asleep, she awakes in the interior of the Fey Patron. It's about 3 winters ago. Not too long after our parents had passed, but long enough that the scars have healed to some extent. The fire is warm, the decorations are up, and Rapture is the only patron in there and is sat with a cup of tea and a cup of hot chocolate sat there ready for Taziel as she emerges into the dream. Ah, so nice of you to join me.
It's good to see you.
I should let you know before all this happens that I'm controlling all of this, and I've used a magical spell to intrude on your dream.
We spoke about this a while ago.
We
Well,
did, and I
look over-
finally
I'll
learned
look
how to do it, and it's
How are you,
hilarious.
you bastard?
I'm
Try
very
and hug him
well.
in the dream.
No, that won't work. You just passed through me.
Oh, fuck you and your illusions.
Yes, well, you should be used to it by now. Look, I'm fine. Jarlaxle's being as How did your date go? It seems that you had some influence on him, or rather, he had some influence on himself. He's so far up his own backside, he can see his son.
Well, with any luck, his arrogance is one thing that's useful about him. I don't know. There's no way around this without something changing. We're not going to come out of this with the same Waterdeep we went into.
Oh, it's already changed.
But, I mean, there's no Fey Patron anymore anyway. I mean...
What?
We might as well... Oh, you didn't hear about that. Yeah. The Fey Patron is only ash now. We have a cutting of the tree. We can rebuild it. But I figured there's no point dwelling on that and risking the lives of everyone in the city when you could press through the pain of losing something dear to you and build something better.
Do you know that Waterdeep wasn't the first city here?
I think you told me this.
Prior to that, there was an elven city here. And I'd imagine prior to that, there was something else here, whether that be a forest or a bay. A city is just walls.
This is what I'm saying. We can't go back to how it was. What it was a mess. We grew up in that mess. We have the opportunity to change that.
It's always going to be a mess, though. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try. After all, our life is simply just futility. It's our very nature to rage against things that cannot be changed.
I've already started changing them. I don't know. I don't know if I can go back now.
Well, we'll find out what happens tomorrow. I'm fine. As soon as you know Samael's safe, by the way, just let me know, and I'll... this is happening before that happens. Yeah. As soon as you know this Samael's safe, just let me know, and I'll pop on over and say hi to you in the waking world.
Right. I was thinking I could send Ira to you. It could... At least it can tell me instantly if anything's amiss.
All right, that's fine. I have no intention of being beheaded tomorrow, just so you're clear.
I mean, I'm hoping that that's not Jarlaxle's intention either.
Right. Tomorrow, when it comes to the execution thing,
yes.
I need you to bring some things with you.
Right.
All right. My coins and my spellbook, obviously.
I did save them, yes.
A large bag of flour.
Right.
A large bag of feathers, or just a pillow, actually, just a pillow.
Okay. Pillow, flour, coin book, spell. No,
Yeah,
coin spellbook. I'm sorry, I'm a bit out of it.
A pouch of pepper.
Pepper.
Yes, white pepper.
Right.
And a small bottle of cold gravy.
Sure. You know, that's not the strangest thing you could have asked me for, honestly. I'm not surprised.
Trust me on this one.
I do trust you. I trust you. I think you're the only person I trust.
And just before we just have a relaxing rest of the evening in our wonderful home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm staying here all night, so I hope you're clear. Let's just remember, tomorrow, don't get angry, don't do anything hasty, and don't kill people that don't need to be killed.
I won't kill anyone who doesn't deserve it.
Not what I said. The implication is anyone is deserving of death is worse than you are. Come on, be that light.
I'm trying.
If you just get angry, nothing good's gonna happen.
All right. Okay. I'll bring those things tomorrow. I'll give you Ira to keep an eye on you. And with any luck, it'll all go to plan.
All right. And I spend the rest of the night in the dream, reenacting the Christmas we had a few years ago. And that's it. It's just a nice, peaceful dream before the oncoming storm. You're muted, buddy.
Storm? No. You will feel yourself being shaken awake.
Oh, good morning, whoever you are.
Good morning. Really sorry about this. It's a drow. They're sort of wearing Golden Company armor. They're not disguised yet. I'm supposed to give you this. And then I'm supposed to escort you around with a bag on your head.
Give me what?
This. It is a small note in a flowing hand that says, "Trust me." For Tazil.
All right, but before we go, I have a question to ask of you.
Yep.
Do you trust me? And I cast Gaius on him.
Oof. Please pop the spell. I'm not immediately familiar.
It's a very long one, but in short, wisdom saving throw, or he's under my command for 30 days.
Okay.
In short, it's basically he must do the quest that I give him for the next 30 days. If he tries to not do that quest, he has a chance to take damage. But
People like putting adventurers under this spell.
yes.
And what is the DC?
That would be my DC, which is I have intelligence 20. That's or I can't count. 16 or 17. Sorry, my character sheet closed itself.
It's 8
17.
plus your
17.
He makes a save.
All right.
Does the spell let him know that you cast magic on him?
No. And it's just verbal component, so it's not like I had to make a fancy motion with my hands.
Very, very powerful spell. He's just like, yeah, I am to assure you that, Jarlaxle will do right by you and by your sister.
Well, that's good to know.
However, he wants to keep a little bit of mystery, hence the sack.
Of course. Well, Jarlaxle does love a good sack, doesn't he?
Quite fond, usually on the head.
He definitely enjoys putting sacks on people's heads, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Hmm.
So, I don't want to be rude or anything. You are a guest. He passes you the sack to put on your own head.
All right, I'll put the sack on my head.
You hear the gates unlock, and he's like, right, come on then, come this way. And we're going to pan forward to the crowds at the, as a large stage has been set up in the town centre with a simple block with a basket sitting in front of it. There is a man standing nearby with an axe. Jarlaxle stands on stage. I assume you've all found a place in the crowd, excepting Rapture, of course.
As himself?
As himself.
Oh.
I have also sent Ira invisible to just chill next to the chopping block.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there is she invisible? Visible?
She's invisible. He's invisible. They are invisible.
At the beginning, Jarlaxle is looking around the crowd. Looking around until he catches you, Tazil. And when he does, he gives a big grin and a wink.
I've disguised myself as an older human lady with wrinkled skin and a large shawl over me, just kind of like hunched over, just in the crowd.
Mm-hmm. He addresses the crowd and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, you've all been brought here today to see the execution of a traitor. Someone who has been conspiring against you all to make conditions worse for you poor folk down here on the streets. Someone who's been neglecting their duties of protecting you by getting their guards to save you as you get murdered in the streets. Unfortunately, I won't be bringing that person to you. The Lord Samil is not going to be executed today. No. I have a better idea. I have found the cause of all of the wild magic surges in this city. The entity, as they are becoming known, that has been pervading the very nature of this city and causing all of us to suffer at the hands of random wild magic surges, people falling from the sky, people feeling things they should never feel. A man is led onto the stage with a sack on his head and is marched towards the block. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the archfey of trickery and corruption. Excuse me, I'm not the best public speaker. Blue Tongue. He whips the sack off of the head, and there sits an archfey. Would any of you like to have a particular inspection or anything of this person at a distance as you are? I thought you might.
Dave is an expert at disguise self-spell.
Oh, wow.
20 on perception.
I'm going to use my nat 20 on that too.
Yes.
I'm not. I'm just gonna roll dice.
I would like to use one of my advantages, please.
You can.
I'm just gonna see. Okay, it's just
Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. But okay. That would actually be a dirty 20 if I'd have clicked insight.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, for everyone who rolled a 10 or higher, that is Blue Tongue. Falja, Redleaf.
Yes.
Blue Tongue is heavily drugged under the same condition that you found the Archfey in the Feywild when you found him in that necrotic stupor.
And this is... That's truly him? From our perspective?
As you remember him when you saw him in the flesh.
Does he look exactly the same like last night when he jumped over into the Feywild?
Yes, indeed.
Forja looks down at Dave. That seems to be the real deal.
The crowd are sort of all mumbling and... Rapture, you are... Sorry.
I was going to say, Dave is going to swap her attention to watching Jarlaxle very closely, because when a magician is doing his magic, don't watch his hands, you watch the magician.
Hey guys, out of character, I've got a feeling that it wasn't the Archfey Blue Tongue that did that to the patron.
Shh. Spoiler.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, Rapture. Good luck. Sack is removed. You are pushed towards your friend in the crowd. Jarlaxle stands on the stage. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please, no. I understand that you want to see this man killed. And some of them sort of like nod, like, the wild magic surges. They killed my father, blah, blah, all the rest of it.
I'm gonna shout in my old voice, like, it's like, we demand justice!
Alright, but now, let us not be seen to be unfair. It is a law in this city, written by these very lords that tower over us, that no man may be executed without a trial. So I will do it by a number of cheers. This man stands before you accused of causing all of the wild magic surges. Has anyone felt a wild magic surge today since I have managed to capture him? I simply ask for a cheer.
Abe would like to shoot a chaos bolt up into the sky because this is bullshit. She doesn't know what bullshit is going on, but this is bullshit.
The chaos bolt goes up and he's like, please, please, I understand your anger. Are you trying to impersonate a wild magic surge or?
Yes. So I need to roll 2d8 and then I will tell you what form my chaos bolt takes. I rolled an 8 and a 2. I'm just rolling it at first level for anyone who is curious. With an 8, it will be thunder. So I imagine it would cause the sound of thunder, considering thunder damage always causes the sound. So it goes up and it's like this coil of like purple and green and chaos.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not be alarmed. This is not a wild magic surge. We are merely being drawn to the attention of my new partner. Tazil, will you join me on stage?
When this happens, the whole like chaos bolt thing, I want to try to rile up the crowd against Jarlaxle by saying like,
This is a trap. You can't trust the drow. They're all evil monsters.
And as I walk to the stage, I say, but we must do what we must for the salvation of Waterdeep. And I will stand on the stage next to Jarlaxle.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't heard any cheers. Please, by a number of cheers. The crowd erupts into cheers, braying for blood.
I really wish I had Zone of Silence right now. That would be a great spot right now.
Is there any? Okay, I'm just like trying to think like if there's any way for.
Actually, I could cast silence. That is a desert spell.
No.
But Forja is too stunned by this whole thing that she would not come up with that idea.
Executioner, I think we have our answer. But please, do not disperse, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to have a word with all of you. Blue Tongue is pushed forward onto the block. The axe falls.
I want to. Something's fucky is going on. I want to cast my mage hand and try to grab the axe in midair before it falls down.
I was so tempted to cast Featherfall on it, but you can't cast it on objects.
I believe it is a sleight of... No, that's for stealing things with your mage hand. What does the mage hand spell say against strength? What is the precise wording? Let's do this properly.
So for this, hand can attack activate to carry more than 2 pounds. Spectral floating hand within range lasts for the duration or until you dismiss it as an action. You can use your action to control the hand. You can use the hand to manipulate an object, open and unlock door container, stow or retrieve an item from an open container, or pour the contents out of a vial. You can move the hand up to 30 feet each time you use it.
So you tell me, Redleaf, what would happen by the book definition as your mage hand tries to stop the axe falling?
I mean, it can manipulate stuff.
I mean, this axe is being swung. He's trying to cleave the head. It's moving with some force.
I mean, that's up to you as the DM. I don't know.
While the chorus reads up on what Mage Hand does, I want to meet my sister's eyes just before this happens. Because I'm in the crowd now, right?
You are.
I want to meet my sister's eyes, just shake my head, and then I'm going to cast Greater Invisibility on myself. And then I'm going to cast Dimension Door and appear on the platform while invisible, because greater invisibility is not cancelled by spells. And I'm going to catch the axe.
So between the axe and
Please be a strong wizard. Please be a strong wizard.
between Rapture, Red Leaf, and the axe, let's see what happens. Can you please both roll me a strength check?
Oh boy, I'm really good at it.
I'll help in this regard. I'll just help.
Give you advantage then, Rapture.
Sorry, my character sheet's playing up tonight.
That's okay.
Don't forget, you also got like 4 nat 20s.
Strength with advantage.
You do get a strength of advantage.
That's a 10.
Please note the name when I roll this. Oh, it doesn't show you. Cool. The axe swings down. You can disrupt the course. It doesn't make a clean beheading, but it does bury deep into this into Blue Tongue's body. Please just give me one moment.
No, wait, this is Blue Tongue.
You transform into a giant. Would that help us?
Jarlaxle turns to Zeal, sort of like through the side of his tooth, and says, "What are they doing? I thought you'd have everyone on side."
Didn't have much to give them.
I thought.
You didn't tell me you already had him.
Oh, someone has to keep some things up his sleeve.
And then things like this happen.
Yeah, but this isn't all. Look, I am turning this crowd ready to take this city. The way I see it at the moment, the only way I can spin this is to try and take down these traitors. Help me. I don't want to hurt your friends unnecessarily.
Wait, because I'm there, right? I can hear this because I'm stood right next to them right now, invisible.
Yeah, you're still invisible, right?
You are invisible, yes.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just check something. Because I'm a wizard and I have a lot of spells. I just need to check something.
I love wizard bullshit. Oh, I need to roll and see if there's a wild magic surge.
Sorry about this.
You are fine, Rapture.
Okay. So I can use magic, minor illusion, to create sounds. And so I want to be using minor illusion to basically amplify what Jarlaxle is saying right now, so that everyone here can hear it, instead of him whispering it under his breath.
Okay. So as he tries to whisper under his breath, it booms across the crowd. I am ready to take this group and turn them ready to take the city. However, at the moment, your friends are getting in the way. The only way I can see to do it is to turn them on them first. Help me. I don't want to hurt your friends, Tazil.
As soon as I hear this in my old woman form, I'm just gonna shout out, just like,
He's trying to take over the city! Traitor!
Forja is going to bow down. Yeah.
There's a moment when the crowd is confused. They've just been braying for blood and they just got it and they feel rather sated. However, when you say that he's trying to take over the city and they hear these words, there's a mix of reactions. It's difficult to tell from your perspective what percentage of people are reacting which way, But some are saying we're being manipulated here. Others are saying, well, maybe we should take back the city.
It's like,
Can Dave hop onto something to get her a little bit higher in the crowd, and so everyone can see she's a Kenku? And she would like to repeat the bullshit we had on that boat about his plans to set Neverwinter against Waterdeep
This is
and
perfect
take over the city.
because Forja was about while all this happened to go down to Dave, because now that we heard him again, she says, I don't think anymore that the Blue Tongue was the demon. I think that man up on stage is the demon. Not the one that was being beheaded right now, or was beheaded. And when she noticed that you want to get higher, she's going to pick you up and put you on her shoulders. Because she's 5'10". You should be able to look over the crowd now.
I mean, Dave can technically fly, but she wants to make it very clear she's very Kenku. Kenku cannot fly.
Everyone's so short.
Little Jarlaxle voice comes out of Dave's mouth.
Yeah. Oh, I can tell you my plan now and no one will believe you. I aim to pitch Neverwinter and Waterdeep against each other. I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember exactly what I said. But to the effect of he reveals his plans to turn the city on each other and walk out on top because no one will suspect a puppeteer.
they illusion thing to amplify Dave when she pops up, just like a speakerphone.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And once that's done, the old lady is just gonna see like,
See? I told you! Trickery and deceit! He wants to kill our sons and daughters for himself! Him and his gold company! Are
I take
we
it-
Waterhavians or not? Get him!
Your sons and daughters are already being killed as you speak. Your sons and daughters stepped on, manipulated, destroyed, broken down into nothing more than shells by the lords that you would so protect and covet. Do you love this city? Because as far as I can see, you are only validating the rule of those who would crush you beneath their boots. This is no place for those of us here on the street to carve a life. We are constantly under the control of those who hide behind masks and names. We don't even know who they are. How dare they order us? How dare they kill us in their minds, in their industry, and how dare they hoard the wealth of Waterdeep for themselves?
Look, people, alright. So I'm a trickster. I work for profit. I am a businessman. Alright? But here I am, standing on stage, drow and all, for all of you to see. Yes, I may work for profit, and yes, I may have been working to try and get rid of the lords and ladies of this town. As I believe you should be too. Because I believe that together, as people and as a ruler, we can make Waterdeep great again.
I knew you were gonna say that!
oh my
I want to step right next to my sister and just go, suffer no tyrant. Time to step out of the director's role for a moment. And I want to step to the very center of the stage and drop the greater invisibility and stand there. Drop all of my illusions. Drop the fancy clothes. Drop everything. And just say, people of Waterdeep, I stand before you now not as a lord, nor as a tyrant, nor as would-be ruler. I stand as someone who comes from among you, who has walked these streets with shoe and by foot, who knows the very cobbles as one would know his own soul. I ask you, you stand here today braying for the blood of one you have never met for a cause you do not understand, that you have been told is the reason behind your suffering, only to have it replaced by another. Would you suffer one tyrant over another? Would you question your own selves and take the word of someone else over what you desire? This is a land for ourselves, and we are proud of what we are. Yes, there are broken parts of this city, there are broken people, but think of how many times in your life you have had kindness from a fellow Waterdavian. How many times you have suffered and someone has helped you, whether that be a simple piece of bread, a drink, or even a kind word on the street. We are a society which works together with each other, and standing up here now as this man would, or even the one with an axe buried in their head would be, or as the lords did before, and saying to you that there can be better with me as a ruler, will do not. It is time, if you wish for a change, ask of which would you would rather have rule you, a tyrant or the people? I would have no secrets from you now. I have been kept prisoner by this man for the past night, of my own accord, to save a friend. I was ready to lay my head down upon this block here in order for that to happen, because I do not believe in bloodshed. Do you believe in bloodshed, Waterdeep? Or do you believe in a future where you can be without tyrants? Both hidden and in plain sight.
Now, the crowd are generally confused. You can hear mumblings around as everyone tries to weigh up the options. Some people are still thinking on the old... They've been fed a few weeks of propaganda now. The Neverwinter is the cause of all their problems. Others are thinking that they are being manipulated, and more so are getting confused in this whole mess of things. So I would like to put it down to some rolls. We've all had speeches. Redleaf, I'll give you a moment in a second when we get to your dice roll. I would like a contest of persuasion rolls to sway the crowd. So far, speaking to the crowd publicly is Redleaf certainly, Taziel certainly, Rapture certainly. Dave, when you were orating Jarlaxle, were you trying to persuade the crowd or merely giving them evidence? Then you also can roll.
Wait a minute.
As she's standing on Forja's shoulders and Forja's wearing her charisma crown, would that help, Dave? And give her advantage?
Charisma cloak.
Yes.
Oh, okay, in that case.
Just think, as Rapture was speaking, Tazzy would have stepped forward to stand by him, and would add on to that. Waterdeep belongs to the people. And she would extend a hand to Jarlaxle as that's going on and give him a look like...
Well, like, hold my hand sort of thing?
No, like, come on, come around, it's not working.
Okay.
As in, this isn't what we agreed.
So, we've started getting some persuasion rolls. We see Dave's there. Redleaf, what would you like to add?
Redleaf is going to drop the disguise and Misty step onto the stage. And is going to look to the crowd, look to her friends, look to Jarlaxle, kind of give him a sneer, and then turn back to the crowd and say, I'm not good at speeches, but... And she's gonna take her gambeson and just show part of her neck, and the Harper tattoo is going to pop into view and flash silver. It's like, but I am a Harper. Last of the few. Killed and murdered and assassinated by this man and his so-called Golden Company. We've always stood for Waterdeep. We've always stood for the people of Faerun. We've always believed that everyone is worth something. That the people are worth something. That tyrants and kings should not be suffered. And before you lies a man who would see himself as such and would throw your families and your children into a war that would bring death and destruction the likes you haven't seen before.
Someone cries out in the crowd, but the Golden Company saved my daughter! I'm not saying that's the end of the argument or anything like that. I'm just throwing in another thing for you to bounce off of there.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
And a couple of other people say, yeah, they helped, they did more than the guards.
And what about the time when the Golden Company chooses not to anymore if you would have them as your rulers?
They will rule no one. And they will be made accountable. I would offer myself to stand to protect the people. I love this city. I grew up in the bowels of this city, and yet I still love it. And I would die protecting it and its people. I will not allow a tyrant to rule over you. That is not what we are doing. We are not swapping some hidden lord for another.
There are assassins afoot.
Now, so far... Yep.
Relief is gonna turn to the man. This is like... And do you think that they would have garnered as much support of you, the people, the good, honest folk of this city, if they had not done such things? They have no love of you in their hearts. They only do so to bring about a good name for themselves. It's selfish.
Jarlaxle turns to Tazil. That's essentially true. My
Still
love...
amplifying everything he says.
Yeah, that's fine. That's essentially true. My love is of profit. My love is of production. My love is of making money and making things work.
You hear this man speak like this? Would you not want someone or people who care about you instead of the coin in his purse?
That is exactly why I have allied myself with Tazil, one of your own. Someone who does care about you, who wants to do you the right things. I hold here the agreements that we made yesterday. Tazil, would you like to read them out, or should I?
I just look aside. By all means, go ahead.
You see, our dear friend Tazil here, and Rapture over there, their house was destroyed just last week by one of the lords. Tazil kindly decided to come with me and make some agreements about our plans for making everything better for everyone. There will be no war with Neverwinter. For a start. There is no need. We'd like to restructure Waterdeep from the top down. Make sure that no one person, except for those trustworthy, have too much power. And yes, I understand that wording is somewhat spurious. We're working on it. It's a first draft. Work with us, people. Tazil will be the rallying point of the people, where I will be in charge of industry. Tazil will handle anything to do with the welfare of the people. I'll simply make sure that we make a profit, that we are not pulling ourselves into further debt, supporting these follies such as guilds that hide in the sewers forever and never do anything for anyone.
At this point, can I roll for, I guess, my persuasion, I guess? Or...
Yeah, everyone else has. I'm waiting for your roll.
Oh, sorry. I'm just gonna use my nat 20 on that, because I'm not the greatest.
Tazil, everyone else has used either a nat 20 or an advantage or something. If you'd like to spend 2 nat 20s, you can also do so on your roll.
I did do my roll, but I did it under the impression that we weren't spending anything. I'm happy just to
that's why
stick
I
with that.
In Zoom chat, what we
Yeah, I rolled mine before that happened.
So.
Yeah.
Just want to make it clear that when Jarlaxle is reading out what these papers were, Rapture shoots Taziel a very, very angry look.
And as Jarlaxle finishes the reading of the papers, Dave the Kenku is going to take to the skies. She's going to fly up, and she wants to look out over Waterdeep, because this is a very big scene, and that generally means we should be looking somewhere else.
There is a darkness spreading, Dave. A darkness spreading from Samil's mansion.
I fly back down, and I get Valja, and I go, yeah!
Valja, the earring rings in your ear. I am coming.
Father? That does not sound like his voice. I just got a message that someone's coming. Yeah, I'm going to transform, and he transforms into a scorpion and
Dave's
crawls
very
up on
impatient.
Yeah.
And yeah, Dave's gonna fly you up so you can see what Dave saw.
To the side of the square, you see the secret arrive on the scene amongst the crowds.
Looks like we got a new
If he is the demon, I'm going to scream.
It's he arrives on the scene. He stands for a moment absorbing everything, listening to these pleas of the people. The people, with the abundance of nat 20s being used, they are looking like they are heading towards turning on Jarlaxle when the secret enters the scene. He begins to grow and change. His arms expand. Fire pours off him as his robe is cast away. Some of you may recognize him, although he looks much older. Lucian Caveborn.
Lucian!
What's going on?
Back around.
You motherfucker.
Well, it's been some time.
The people look confused.
Another one of your friends, Jarlaxle?
No,
Please tell me this has nothing to do with you.
this has nothing to do with me whatsoever.
My ass it is.
Another demon you've been keeping in your closets?
Oh, shut up, you overgrown pumpkin. You sit down where you belong in the dirt, Jarlaxle. Let's deal with this. You go about to sneaking about in the shadows like you're used to. Have had enough of your business for a lifetime, let alone today. That looks oddly like the blue-skinned tiefling that our newfound friends had an issue with prior to coming here. And I will talk to you later, Taziel. I will look down. Wait, where's Fauja and Dave right now? They're in the air, right? I will look up to Dave and I'll just give them the eye. Like, is this?
As you do this, sorry, I throw a black satchel at your feet. I got you what you asked for.
Oh, you actually brought all of it. Brilliant. I just take out the spell book and the coins and leave the rest of it in
Well,
there.
of course I did. We had a plan.
The people seeing this person, someone, there's a lot of energy going around at the minute, and they see this blue-skinned person appear who looks a lot like Blue Tongue, and he dives in to attack.
Who dives
Lucian,
into attack?
there is a commoner attacking you.
As he goes for the attack, Lucian will simply just reach out his hand and grip it around his throat.
Dave wants to damn busters this bastard.
Don't know what the fuck's going on, but I want to kill that demon.
I'm keeping an eye on fucking Jarlaxle right now.
I'm gonna Chaos Bolt at 5th level. No. Yes. 4th level is what I meant to say. 4th level. If that is okay with everyone. Or do you want to do initiative and then worry about it?
I'm good with you bombarding. Go, Dave, go! The little scorpion is frantically pointing with her.
Yeah, I figure you're like
Okay.
piloting the Dave.
Yeah, I would just quickly look back at Jarlaxle and say, well, you fucked up, didn't you? Now what a fine mess we're in. And then I'm going to turn back to concentrate on this demon.
Sorry you can't keep your fathers in line. What is this, daddy issues?
I have never had daddy.
I am drawing my rapier and like pointing it at his throat.
Priorities, Red Leaf.
Citizens of Waterdeep, make your way back to your homes as quick as possible. This is not part of the show today, and I would not have any of you getting hurt.
The people begin to riot.
People, please return to your
They've
homes
had-
now. We cannot protect you unless you get out of this vicinity.
Too
Leave.
many persuasive arguments. They're too diversive. There are groups that are going towards Taziel's voice, groups going towards Rapture's voice, groups going towards Redleaf's voice, groups going towards Dave's voice and Jarlaxle's voice. There's too many opinions in the crowd. They begin to fight amongst themselves and fight everyone around them. Lucian,
You
this
know-
looks a lot like a plane in turmoil.
You know, when you have too many leaders, nothing gets done. I think it's time we thin the herd. And he's just gonna cast some flames from his fingers and look to the crowd. And just unleash a fireball amongst the people.
Counter spell, bitch.
Oh,
What
Oh,
level
I
is the
missed
spell
the word.
cast? What level is the spell cast?
I'm casting. I have to declare mine first because otherwise it's not fair.
Right.
I will be casting counterspell at level 4 because that's yes.
Okay.
It's
And-
casting on level 4.
4. So DC would be 14, am I right?
If it's equal levels, it cancels out. Equal or below levels,
Right,
it cancels out.
Yeah.
It's only if it's a higher level than the counter spell that you have to roll.
By the way, I love Slade. For anyone in chat who is wondering, I
No.
do.
We love
Mortal
him,
enemies.
so you
It's
know
been
we're going
months.
to kill
Yo,
him.
I hate
Murdering
him.
him
I
right now.
hate him.
This
I
guy-
hate him.
We love him.
Hi,
have
nice to meet you, Slade.
Yeah, it's a
Sorry I have
pleasure.
to fight you.
Dave has a lot of anger right now.
Dave, you've changed. Oh my god.
And Scrat, I also spent 2 advantages so that I could get a second roll on my Chaos Bolt.
Yeah, sure.
Roll was a nat 20. Does a 28 hit you? I actually, it's a crit, so it would always hit, right?
In combat, yes, that's true.
Okay. Plus...
Just to be correct, am I using the special character sheet.
Oh yeah, you're using the special character sheet.
Always the special character.
The special one.
Oh
I've
yeah.
not missed the sheet. The
Special.
sheet sucks.
The one with the 3-digit numbers on it.
That's the one. The one that says guaranteed win.
Guaranteed to blow your mind.
The one designed by our very own Archmage Derek. Thank you very much. Who helped us balance this character to be against a crime lord as such.
Thank you very much.
And the damage type will be lightning damage, and the total will be 9 plus 15, so that's total 24 points of lightning damage.
Oh, starting off strong today.
That was not a good roll. That's 2d8 and 5d6. But I'll take it.
We need the Ride of the Valkyries for this.
We do. As this fireball is cast at the crowd, it's probably safe to say that Tazzy is probably activating divine consumption.
Oh,
Because she's mega pissed.
I'm going to cast Hold Person on Jarlaxle. I'm going to spend a nat 20 to make sure he fails that saving throw. And then, is the crowd directly below us?
The crowd is directly below us.
Okay, I'm going to whisper in his ear, let them eat cake, and tip him into the crowd. The rioting crowd.
Fine. You can absolutely do that. He is held and he is thrown to the crowd.
And I'm looking at this and I'm just like, a little bit extreme, but that's why I love you.
I said I wouldn't kill anyone, but they're already rioting.
You know, usually I would argue with you about this right now, but I think we've got a bigger problem right now, and Relief is going to spring off of the platform and onto one of the roofs and just dash to the side across towards this giant blue demon that is like sprung up and is trying to fucking kill everyone.
Of course. Tazil, you see Rapture take the man that you made all these wonderful agreements with, your co-conspirator, and toss them to the crowd. The braying crowd, the one just braying for blood just moments ago. How do you react? I'm very interested in your specific reaction.
She watches him fall into the crowd and then looks back up at the demon. If you're worth your salt, you'll find your way out of this.
So much for Jarlaxle.
Oh. You think I have to prove myself to the likes of you?
I was talking to Jarlaxle. But it could come across either way. I'm all about misdirection.
Yeah, we're a distance away from you.
Yeah.
And I'm
You know.
staying a distance.
Hey, I don't have to prove myself to you.
Just wait.
Crafted.
I wish
related.
I wish we had. I wish Kellogg was here for this shit.
Funny you mention that. The Axeman takes off his mask. And it is indeed Kellogg Bonewalker, who stands, who goes to save Jarlaxle from the crowd.
What?
I told you he'd have a way out.
I'm sorry, what? Hold on.
Thank you.
Explain yourself.
Well, I guess people are more interested in tyrants than I thought. Well, right now we have a demon to deal with. Or devil.
Pass fireball again, bitch! I dare you.
I have a question for Tahina/Falja. Is Falja indicating she'd like to go down to the ground at all?
Oh yes. She's like
Yeah.
frantically pointing down. And...
Okay. They will fly back down to the ground. And I did do my wild magic rolls for anyone keeping track, and I passed both of them.
You don't have to go down and land. You just have to go down deep enough that Forja can jump from your back, basically.
It's okay, landing is fine. Lucian's a big man.
Just throw the scorpion at the demon. It's fine.
I can do that.
Yeah, do that, please.
Alright.
I have a stinger. It's spelled Lucian.
I hurl / semi-drop my Fauja onto Lucian. Which means I guess I will be in melee range very briefly.
It's
So
a druid bomb.
I would like to bomb you with my druid.
Yes.
Ah, wild magic surges. Haven't had this in centuries
Oh.
in my place.
I-
It was peaceful.
Welcome back, Slade.
I've already lost a mother. What could possibly go wrong?
Haven't you learned anything? Why do you say that?
One day we'll get to be friends again. One day.
One day.
I have no idea who you are, and right now I just guess we're all killing you. So sorry, we'll never get a chance to, hit it off.
Slade is Lucian, whose dad is the demon that came to the desert and destroyed all of our lives.
Tazzy don't know none of this.
We'll
Everything's
have
just
tea
not
after.
Sorry.
Once it all blows
Yeah,
over.
yeah. Once it
We'll
cools
go
down.
for coffee somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like this like
Tazzy does know the story of the demon in the desert. She was told.
I think I only heard it very quickly though. I didn't hear it in much detail.
I think Lucian and Rapture, it's like the 50 Spider-Man where it's them both. There's two Spider-Mans pointing at each other.
There's chaos going on. People are rioting.
Eric, what have you made me hook off?
There is people. There's potions are being drunk in the crowd. Things are going on all over the place. As I look at all these wild magic surges that people have donated, but only some of them go off as the sorcerer. The course of it has been defeated. Blue Tongue has been executed. The wild magic surges are nigh baseless. However, there is a new demon here, and with him comes the magic of the desert, the place where Falja and Dave and Kellic will remember many wild magic surges came from.
Rapture, can you amplify my voice again? We need to get the people out of here. They're going to be killed. This is ridiculous.
I
I never lied to you when I said I wanted to protect them.
I don't think we're going to get them to leave at this juncture. We just have to make a bigger bang.
That's what I say. We scare them out. That's all we've got left.
Well, all right. Let's make some fireworks, shall we? And I will cast Major Image and just create a huge explosion over everybody. Just massive. Just rupturous. Like Fire 4 from Final Fantasy 14.
And I will cast.
Like James Bay is unleashed.
Yeah.
Michael Bay.
And
I am Michael Bay right now. This is
Oh
explosion.
God, no! That's not what I want to hear. My brother is.
I was thinking James Cameron and Michael Bay, and I just made.
Yeah. It's badly CGI'd explosions, therefore it's James Bay.
And Taziel would cast Fly on herself. Well, she's still got Divine Consumption that's just geared up. So she's basically doing what Yvain does in Stardust and just like blasting light everywhere with all of these explosions. And she wants to essentially be over the crowd and just like shout out in the strongest voice she can. If you want to save yourself and live to see Waterdeep and save the city we love, you have to leave this place. Go run. I don't care what you do, but get out of here or Waterdeep dies today.
Political meandering postponed. Please come back later.
We'll get back to that.
Due to inclement weather.
The people don't seem to respond. They're too busy now throwing things at each other, throwing potions that they've hoarded for years and all sorts. As magic begins bursting across the tavern, there's pockets of silence, pockets where people are wringing their ears. There's places where small fireballs are going off, potions are being drunk, people are jumping ridiculously high or growing twice in height as I quickly read through all of these crazy wild magic surges. Is
there anyone who looks like they're genuinely like trapped, or like children who are terrified?
Oh, I hope so.
I'll pull the explosion down into a ring of fire which surrounds where Fauja, Dave, and Lucian are. Just like, gladiatorial arena style. Because I can manipulate my illusions. Look, I have no combat spells. I'm just here to make things look cool.
I could polymorph you into something so you could feel combat.
I could polymorph myself into something, but that's not my style.
Well, I think it sounds like we want to roll initiative.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's probably about time we did that.
I'm gonna use one of my last advantage for this.
Oh yeah, I might use an advantage too.
I would
I
also
don't have
like to
any.
use an advantage.
I have more toys than that.
Oh,
Okay,
well.
cool. I'm just gonna roll.
Rolled a 24 anyway, so.
I'm just gonna roll.
Still used it up though.
In this game, like in real life,
Oh my
I
God.
just make pretty art. No substance.
Oh.
So chat, there is no room to show you the box anymore on screen. I have rolled the wild magic surges, I am using them, but you can't see the initiative roll, so you just have to trust me. Chorus. Redleaf has the initiative.
Okay, so she has no idea what sort of power this person, this blue demon monstrosity has, but she's gonna do what she does best, and that's to be a distraction. And she's going to just tell Gust to get up in his face and just like mess around and just like try to obscure his vision and use the help action. And when he does, she's gonna leap off of one of the buildings and just scream at the blue guy, just like, "Oi, over here!" and just draw her rapier and try to stab at this thing. That's gonna be a 21 because of the help action from Gust. So the rapier is going to do 11 plus my sneak attack. Which is going to be 23 points of slashing.
May I offer you
Mm-hmm.
the one-time offer of using one nat 20 to make that into a nat 20 for double damage, because my god, you need it.
Sure.
Yeah, you can do that. We'll just double whatever you've rolled.
So that's gonna be a 46.
You did 46 damage to Lucian.
And for my bonus action, I'm gonna use the disengage, and I'm gonna move back 20 feet. Just like keeping my eye on him.
Lucian Caveborn. It is your turn.
Gonna look down at the little runt. Just stab him with a toothpick. Well, that's not very nice.
Oh, I'm shaking in my boots. Come on.
Lift his eye down. He's going to cast Eye Bite.
Before that happens, I used my
What?
reaction to use the fucking spellbook that belongs to Blue Tongue.
The
misspell
misspelled.
his spell.
What the fuck is eye bite? I don't know what that spell does.
How
No.
are you going to misspell eye bite?
I thought I'd come to that in the moment.
Everything going on. You're
Just
next.
change the B to an S. Eyesight.
I was gonna say I light to change the beat.
Or eye bright, yeah. Yeah, I think eye bright to make I guess I'm trying to make Redleaf's vision better.
Oh, what the
He
fuck?
gets anime eyes.
Yeah, he gets beautiful sparkly eyes, and he can see all of the weak points of Lucian, which is just me bullshitting. But that's what I'd love to happen.
Necromancy, what the fuck?
My weak points are Ninish tarts.
You know what we need to do? Tazzie's an excellent chef.
Okay, so you've changed that level 6 spell from your. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we'll say that Redleaf's eyes become an inky void imbued with dread power. They won't have to make the saving throw though. They will just have advantage on attacks against Lucian. Lucian, what would you like to do for your second action?
It just like I imagine like the eyes just like go wide and I can see all the pores on his skin.
I just hold up
No,
the
no.
book. Recognize
just-
this book, bitch.
It's like your eyes have just gotten really anime, and you're more powerful now because you're an anime
Nani?
antagonist.
It's like you really need to like clear out your pores.
All according to Kikaku. Translator's
Kaku
note.
means plant.
I
These are
think
my Nakama.
that.
Second
That would do it
action?
from
Wait,
this-
wait, second action?
Yeah.
Yes, Lucian's second action.
Well, for my second action, he's not going to be too happy with someone casting certain spells. So, with that, he's going to lift up his finger, go, you, and cast 7th level
Oh fuck.
Finger of Death.
Is this necrotic?
Are you aiming that at Tazeel?
Yes,
I will take. Is that necrotic?
that is.
I will take half damage.
You need to make a DC 18 Constitution saving throw.
No, use one of my 20s. Fuck this.
I believe on a nat 20 that's half damage, so you're quarter the damage.
So I get quarter damage.
So that is 80, 90, 45, 22 points of damage.
Ugh.
You intrigue me.
I just start glowing brighter. What do stars do? Shine.
That
And-
may be an issue.
Lucian. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Do I? I haven't killed anyone yet, so I think I'll let this turn pass.
Let this turn pass.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to look into the crowd now and be like, right.
I mean, it kind of looks like a mosh pit. Are they opening up circle pits?
Oh no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, let's do that. If I'm not mistaken, that is. Do you mean the Grim Harvest? Or do you mean something else?
No, I was looking at, like, you know, if they're creating circle pits, perhaps you might like to add a circle, but it's up to you.
Oh. That circle.
That circle.
Why not? If it will. You know what? I might be the most powerful mage right here, but not even I can make Roll20 behave. Come on!
So if you're a demon, that tells us that Roll20 is in Devil's Hand, right?
You know none of this.
I think you can cast it from the main sheet. From here.
Okay, that'd be cool.
7th level spell, my god.
We had 9th level spells last season, so.
Shh. Oh yeah, what happened to my wish that I never used? Yeah, that is not popping up for
wish.
some reason.
Don't you use wish?
I'll click it for you. See if that works.
Cool, thank you.
What level
Just
would you
got
like to cast it at?
8th.
8th level.
8th level.
As Circle of Death opens up in the riots. Hey, give me 1 second, I just need to click the spell. No, not cast it. Okay, right, fine, I'll only let me cast it. Fine, you carry on. Essentially, Circle of Death, a ring of necrotic damage opens up in the crowd, and unless anyone has a reaction to counter it,
Is it a spell?
it is a spell.
Then I will use my remaining 4th level spot and try and counterspell it.
Do you still have a reaction this turn?
And
Yes, because you used it before we went into combat.
how you count the.
Yeah, we did. You did that one before we went into combat, so yes.
Okay.
Could have made it circle
And
of health.
can I use a nat 20 on my roll, which will mean that I block the spell?
You can.
If not, I will happily roll for it. Okay, then I'll use the nat 20.
How does this look?
Dave like tears, and this arcana rather, just kind of blares out from both of her fingers, and they weave into the spell, and they push it back towards Lucian, and then it just kind of explodes as the spell is destroyed.
Oh,
No.
that does it.
Lucian!
I'm turning you into a feather duster.
Next in the turn order, Rapture.
I like sharp things better.
Can I see the sea from here?
I'm
on top of that platform still.
Let's say yes. Why not?
How far away is it?
About. I'll do it in meters because we'll probably understand that better. About 1.5K.
1.5k meters. Ah, damn, that's way too far away. Never mind. In that case, then, I am just going to begin casting a spell which has a longer than 1 round casting time.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Nope,
I'm
good.
After
How many seconds in your rounds?
it should be 6.
Okay.
It should be. Rules light. I've
Okay.
put Dave's.
In 10 rounds, I will do something.
Do you know what? Narratively, why don't we go back a little and say that you started casting this beforehand, so you can cast it next round.
Okay.
Because you weren't really doing anything beforehand when the people were doing reactions and stuff, so I think that's only fair. Thank you for all the donations, everyone. I will catch up to that in a bit. I'm juggling more players than I'm used to. Let's go next. I believe it's Dave, but I've also written Dave down twice in my initiative order, so I could be wrong.
I think I was on a 15, if that helps.
As was I, yeah.
I also don't have a Tazeel roll. I've missed Tazeel. There you are, 8.
Oh, I think I only got 8.
Yeah.
It's got all the reactions right now.
Yeah, I'm on a 15. Bowser's on a 5.
No, on a
Can I-
15, I used an advantage on my initiative.
Oh, I see.
You did.
It's
You used an advantage.
Can I just
I
double
have the
check?
higher dex, I think.
Oh, go first, dear Dave. After you.
With the misspell book, I just want to double check. I've read through it like twice,
Uh-huh.
and the reaction to misspell a spell,
Mhm.
there isn't a limit on how many times you can do that. It's just you only have the 1 reaction per turn, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
By the way, I just want to say, as soon as this is done, Archmage, we're gonna have some words. I'm gonna have to call you, and we're gonna have to talk about this, because this is not okay. What is this circle of death nonsense?
Hey, he just made it to balance the person that you held person and chucked into the crowd.
Oh yeah. I
He
haven't
was
checked.
used
I did it.
by an
I did
archfey.
nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Suffer no tyrants, be they crime lord or demon lord.
It's okay. Your savior is here now. It's fine.
Okay. So next in the turn order is Dave.
Dave is going to use her 5th level spell now, and she's going to cast Polymorph on herself and become a Tyrannosaurus Rex. She will not be a tiny feather duster, sir. She will be a large, ancient raptor. Rah!
Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
No! I don't think I can do anything else because that's an action.
Falja.
As Dave transforms, I'm going to glide from her back, like down her tail, like it's a slide. And at the bottom, I use my. I'm going to transform back into Forja, in this fiery pillar of flame, and I'm going to look at Lucian and I say, "So we meet again. How long have you used my father's shape to trick us? Don't you know what they say when you play with the fire?" And I'm going to cast Elemental Bane on him and make him vulnerable to fire.
I'll say that you can tell the two wizards because they're constantly looking at all of their spells.
Honestly, I'm like at a buffet right now. I'm just like.
I think my D&D Beyond, and I'm
The
like.
best thing about Elemental Bane is you don't get a saving throw against it. It just happens.
He's just gonna look at himself and go. I've lived in the desert far longer than what you have.
You might have lived there, but I am her daughter, and part of her. And her fire courses through my veins, and it will burn you. Believe it.
And there's one thing I should tell you before you do anything else, Falja. Your mother is still alive.
I know she's in your clutches, and I will save her.
No, but that's the thing, my friend. It's only I that gives her life.
I will get
Snuff
the orb,
out.
and I will save her.
Try.
Oh, I will. I will more than try. I will do so.
Unfortunately, in the heat of battle, that is all you have time for. As we go to the next person, Tazeel.
You're muted, Rachel.
You are muted.
Okay. I will. I'm still, I guess, like hovering so many feet above the crowd. I'm just gonna raise my hand to Lucian, and I would like to cast Wall of Light, level 5, and just summon this like twisting ribbon of like blinding white light is just gonna start like avataring around around them, and they need to as the wall appears, let's make a Constitution save. And because it's not Scrap playing them, I can't force them to use a disadvantage.
Well, no, but he does have some nat ones.
Anyone want to make him use a nat 1?
Anyone want to make the bad guy the
I
winner?
will. Because I will. He does have to beat 20 though, I think, because of the spell that gives me a buff to my spell DC.
Do what you want to do, Rachel. We believe in you.
Well, if he has multiple nat 1s, I will throw one at him now.
He does. He has 2 nat 1s and 6 nat 20s.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to use one of the nat 1s because that means he will be blinded for 1 minute, as well as taking 48 radiant damage. And every time it ends its turn in the wall, it will take 48 radiant damage. And then on my subsequent turns, I can use my turn to make him take more 48 radiant damage as long as I can concentrate on the spell. But yeah, I will roll the damage.
I see negotiations are going well.
I'm an excellent negotiator, thank you. Does the +3 to spell attack damage count for this, or is it only for ranged spell attacks? Sorry, I'm just gonna read all the stuff on this spell book. There's a lot.
Yeah, you can tell we're a lot of spellcasters because we're all hastily looking through spell things. So,
Spell attack is a type of attack. Ranged and melee is a modifier to that attack type. So if it says spell attack modifier, it'll be both. Hi, it's me, Jeremy Crawford, and welcome to this episode of Dragon Talk.
I was trying to look at the specific wording of this book. Oh, there's so much. Okay, no, I don't think it adds. Cool, I'm just going to roll the damage then. Wow, that was abysmal. Oh well, he's still blinded.
okay.
And that's what I do with my turn. And he is still surrounded by this wall of light.
Does he have legendary actions, Scrat? Or resistances? Swear to God.
Not to being blind.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like there's anything there about True Sight or anything like that. Nope.
Eat light, bitch.
Redleaf.
The language of this town.
Redleaf, it will be your turn. You have advantage against attacks on Lucian. You seem to be able to see his weak points.
Alright, I'm gonna move up to him the 20 feet. I'm just like... I'm tired of monsters. Let's see how long it takes to cut you up. And I'm gonna move up to him, and I'm gonna attack him. 27 to hit. What? It's gonna be 9 slashing plus my sneak attack because I have advantage. That is going to be 25 points of damage. And you know what? I'm gonna have Gust. Sorry, let me pull up the sprite details. There's so much stuff. I'm gonna have Gust make an attack roll with his short bow. It's gonna be a 1d20 plus 6, and I assume he has advantage as well.
Gus did not have the spell cast on him, but he is blind, so yes.
Okay. It's gonna be 24 to hit. Okay, he's gonna do 1 piercing damage, and the target must succeed on a DC 10 Constitution saving throw or become poisoned for 1 minute. And you know what? I want you to use a nat one on that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So you are poisoned, and if the saving throw result is 5 or lower, you fall unconscious for 1 minute. But I don't know if it would count for this. So
I think narratively I'm not going to let him fall unconscious. Combat's already taking long enough. Nope.
okay. Just like you see Gust bring this little bow and hit you in the neck. You hear a ow, and you hear a
Next in the turn order is Lucian.
Oh, now it's my turn. You just see from him holding his hands, nothing, and then erupting with flames as a spear appears before him. And he just looks down, and with his nat 20, he's just gonna add red leaf.
I can't defend that. I can't do anything.
Okay.
And we'll just double that for the damage, so that's 30, 60, 58.
Okay. Uncanny dodge. And I'm gonna reduce that by half.
20, 58, 60, 30, 29.
29. Okay, so gotcha. So I'm just dodging out of the way, and it kind of like cuts through my side. It's like ah.
And
All
then
right,
he's
that
just gonna-
hurts.
He's gonna drop the spear, and it evaporates. He's just wiping his eyes. He just holds out his hand and drops this little flame ember onto the ground. as I'm
What
going
spell
to
is this?
He is going to cast, once I find it, because I know it's here.
By the way,
My roll 20 is frozen once
I
again.
just want chat to know that even with uncanny dodge, that just did half of my HP.
What was the spell? What was the spell? I need to know the spell.
Delayed blast fireball.
There's too many words.
Oh, that's nasty.
Essentially,
It's a stronger fireball which goes off later.
no,
What about delayed blast to tire ball?
I was thinking fear ball and get everyone to leave. Yeah. So I am going to use my reaction. I'm really sorry for prolonging everything. I hold up the book again and say, chaos is fun, isn't it? And I'm going to change that to delayed blast fear ball.
I don't know if this is a thing. Can you counterspell a counterspell?
It's not a counter spell. I'm just
Yes, you
giving you
can.
dyslexia, I think.
Okay.
I'm already blind. What are you doing to me?
This
And I will-
cuts close
and I probably, yeah.
close to home.
So the question is raised, can you counterspell a counterspell?
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes to a roll-off, right?
But does this count
No,
as a counter
it's
spell?
so if you counterspell the counterspell, how it works is that whatever level the counterspell is cast at before, the new counterspell has to match or go above that to counterspell that counterspell.
It basically comes down how many reactions there are around and how many people can cast counterspell.
So basically, whoever has the last counterspell wins.
Okay, so
As long as they use the right amount of
As
slots.
long as they have a spell slot high enough.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm not using slots for this because I don't have to. Neither am I actually rolling anything.
So the
So-
delayed blast fireball is level 7. Essentially, you'd have to counterspell higher than level 7. Is that what we're saying?
She's
What?
not really counterspelling it. She's
No,
It's
counterspelling
it's
Yeah,
not. It's
she's
a
not
different
counterspelling.
ability.
So this isn't
Yeah.
a counterspell of a counterspell.
Yeah.
This is counterspelling the misspell, and it's whether the misspell counts as a spell. And if
Yeah.
it does, what level that spell?
I think it's going to count as a spell. It'll be the same level spell as originally cast. So if you want to counterspell it, it will be level 8, and then it will do nothing.
Yeah, I got one of those slots.
Use it up, boy.
By the way, if you guys want to know exactly what this this book misspell stuff is, you can find it in an art.
I really appreciate the plug, but we just don't have time. Let's carry on with the action. Next, what's your next action, please, Lucian?
The next action is going to be to cast counterspell to remove the blindness from his eyes.
Or
Fantastic.
would this spell magic, right?
I'm going to allow it just for keeping things moving.
What is
But they're all
off at
pissing him
this
off.
point?
I think I've also got the spell.
So, after Lucian
I've got everything.
is Rapture.
Okay, which means my spell finishes casting. Oh, I wish I was a few levels higher. This would be so much cooler. And I cast hallucinatory terrain and make 150 feet into this huge battlefield of spired, twisted rocks. It's no longer water deep. It's this battlefield of spires of rocks and flowing lava around the edges, and it has the remnants of old battles in it. The discarded spears and armor and everything. Doesn't actually do anything. It's all illusionary because I'm not 14th level. But it looks cool.
Is the floor made of sand by chance?
No, it's like, well, yeah, but it's like ashy, like volcanic sand.
Close enough.
Volcanic rock.
Yeah,
That's good.
it's less like the end of Gladiator and more like the end of a Final Fantasy game.
So I guess, like, in a way, sand is just little rocks.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We're getting awfully deep here.
But yeah, that's all I do with my
As soon
turn.
as I tell
If I
you.
was 14th level, I could make it real, but I'm not, so I can't.
Next is Dave.
Dave is gonna multi-attack as a T-Rex. Just read this. I can make one. I can't multi-attack because one has to be against a different target. So I am going to instead. Are
Oh,
you a
sorry.
medium or smaller creature?
Sorry, I was just gonna say, did Lucian end his turn inside the wall of light because he would take damage?
Yeah, he probably did.
Okay, I'll just quietly roll that in the background.
Yeah, you quietly do that, and I'll take it fully in the face.
Lucian, are you a medium or smaller creature?
I'm medium. I haven't gained or lost that much weight in the centuries I've been trading.
Yeah, he's just built. He's not a different species.
Okay, I just want to check he hadn't grown because if this hits, I can grapple you, and you'll need to make a DC 17 strength check to escape the grapple. Does
Oh,
a 15 hit you?
No.
That's plus 10. That makes me so sad. I don't think I have any advantages left to spend. Okay.
Any other actions for you?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Falja.
Dave makes it.
Yes. So I am going to take a few steps to the side, and I hold my hands in front of me in this shape, and I'm going to cast Burning Hand so that the cone only affects Lucian. And because he's under the effect of the Elemental Bane, he takes the full damage. And I'm also casting Burning Hands on 5th level. Because why the hell not? It's not the finale for now.
Ask Queen.
So please.
The
roll
desert
me
is
a
angry.
save. The desert angry, yes. Please roll me a dex save. Okay, so you save, which means you take half damage, I guess, right?
Indeed.
Would he still take? Yeah, but that damage he takes full because his resistance would be gone.
So Lucian had resistance. You've got rid of that resistance, so it goes back to normal damage. He makes the save though, so you half the damage.
Just half the damage. So it's 3d6 on the first level, 1 for level 2, for level 3, for level 4, for level 5, an additional 2 dice for the Elemental Bane, which means 9d6 damage. Plus my spellcasting modifier because of the crown, I think. So that's 22 points of fire damage that you take.
Oh. Oh, I see.
Did you feel that? She hisses over the roaring of the flame.
No!
After Falja, if there's anything else you'd like to do, Falja?
I would like to use a healing word on... I think Rapture was pretty heavily damaged, right?
Me? No, I'm at full health.
No, I mean Red Leaf, sorry.
Oh.
Red Leaf, yeah. So I'm going to cast it on 2nd level, so 2d4. 7 points of healing for Red Leaf. And then my turn is over. I glare at Lucian.
Awesome. Before we move to Tazil's turn, suddenly tears appear in Lucian's clothes as 3 holes open in his chest, and Jarlaxle appears behind him, having made 3 attacks invisible
Yes, boy!
with 3 nat 20s. Just roll 1 for the damage. I mean, it was a 33 anyway. So that would be 62. No, 72. No, wait. 30. Hang on. 36. Yeah, 72. 72, 76. And 68.
Yeah, that will do it. I am well unconscious.
Please explain how Lucian exits the scene.
So just with these 3 piercings that come through him, you just see him drop to one knee, and his hand outstretches to where he cast his delayed fireball. But as he tries to snap it, magic's already gone. And little by little, with the ash that he is on, he just begins to turn into it. All of his features down to his knees. And it begins to rise up just slowly and crumbling away. As he just looks up. Yeah. You did all right. And it takes him over. And the wind gusts. And collapses his form.
Well, we defeated 2 demons today, people.
I want to bite his head off.
Hey, calm down, everyone.
I'm rushing him. Fuck it. I'm rushing him.
For real, I want to bite his head off.
Fuck this guy. He's not gonna use this to
Screw
his
this guy, he's not
fucking
good people.
advantage. Like, he's not gonna win this one. Fuck this. I'm going after him.
Do I have any nat 20s left, Scrat?
You do, I think, yeah.
Yes, I do. I would like to use one of those, please, to bite his head off. Well, I won't bite his head off, but it'll do double my damage.
Double damage, yeah. Okay, so what is the damage? And then,
Yep.
is that a grapple as well, or?
4d12 plus 7, and he needs to make a strength 17 save. Of course, if he has anything to nullify piercing, then that can decrease.
No, he'll simply take the damage, but I'm going to use his legendary resistance to pass the saving throw.
Yeah, because
Okay,
he has those.
7 doubled is 14, plus 22 is 36, plus 22 is 48, 58, plus 18 is 66, 76, I think. 76 plus 7, 73 points of piercing damage.
Okay, 73 points of piercing damage, and we are out of combat. Let's paint the picture. Let's paint the picture.
Wait, that's not right. Hold on.
45 doubled 90. What else do you want to add?
Minus 7. Just minus 7. That's just... Otherwise
83. That's good enough.
83.
So he takes that damage. Essentially, he helped you kill this demon. The crowd was all with you, and then the T-Rex bites him. The crowd goes silent.
I immediately drop down out of the sky next to both of them. Can we calm down, please? It's over.
Jarlaxle dead.
We're not killing anyone unnecessarily.
Have you seen what this place looks like?
Yes, he killed Blue Tongue. I didn't expect him to, but he kind of kept his word. It was the last thing I expected. And he still did it.
I freed your brother like we agreed, and I killed Blue Tongue. Like we agreed.
I can't, on good faith, hurt nor kill this man when he is kept to every word that we made.
He doesn't get to rule Waterdeep.
He was never going to. But those who currently do are not ruling it very well.
He killed all the Harpers. Him and his lot. All of my friends, associates are dead because of him. And you want him to have a hand in what this place turns into?
Rather a hand.
He'll be damned.
Rather a hand than I can guide than one that can do as it pleases. Yes.
Scrat, does Jarlaxle look hurt at all?
He looks not as hurt as he should, but he does indeed have he does indeed have blood on him.
So he doesn't look close to death?
No.
Okay.
If you kill a man who has stood by his honor this whole time, then...
So you would choose him over your friend?
No, I would choose... I simply would not choose a murderer.
He is a murderer.
Yes, he is. But my brother is alive. The demon is dead. And the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
The Tyrannosaurus Rex roars into Zeal's face.
Just look at it. You can bite my head off as well if you like, but I'm afraid I have to stand by my principles.
If you choose him, this is the last time you'll see me as a friend.
That is a real shame, Redleaf. I was hoping that you would...
Don't talk to me, you silver-tongued snake. You've already entrapped my friend with your mouth. Say something again and I will cut out your tongue myself. I don't care if I die in the attempt.
So you would resort to violence rather than simple conversation? Is that the example you would like? He let you backhand him. Is this the example that you will set this city?
Redleaf, you have to understand. There was corruption in the Harpers before Jarlaxle came here.
And so they all deserve to die?
No, not all of them.
He was the one who corrupted the Harpers.
You honestly think they were perfect? You think these organizations are perfect? Where are the Harpers in the dock ward? Tell me, who are they protecting? The children dying on the streets? The crime syndicates who are hiring minors?
I want to just get off the platform and start walking towards all of this. Just slowly, no rush or anything. Just making my way through crowds.
Who?
Well, when he was dealing with the Blue Tongue, he called for a trial. Maybe we should do that.
Maybe we should.
Harper was the one that got you and your brother out of jail. Was the one that kept you from that, remember?
I got us out of jail.
Oh.
Wouldn't got out if it wasn't for me helping. I wasn't even in jail in the first place.
Dave remembers about Samil and his house and is gonna stomp through this weird terrain we're in and try and find Waterdeep and try and find Samil's house. I'm stuck as a T-Rex for an hour. I cannot communicate. I'm going to find someone with a mouth.
Wait. I could pull him off your back because I have pulled him off. I'm going to grab you, the tip of your tail, like, where are you going? We have a discussion here. And I'm going to transform you not only in your original form, but in your Arakokra form. I should be able to do that with polymorph, right?
Yeah, totally.
I will give you your voice because that is what I promised you.
You want law, you want order, we bring Samil, we have a trial. This man is a warmonger. So easily you forget that, Tazeel.
I said on stage today, when I thought no one could hear me, that there will be no war between
Hush
Neverwinter.
yourself! Your words are not welcome here, sir.
If I may not speak in my defense, then who will?
You will speak in your
Jarlaxle.
defense when we have a trial. That is the way trials work.
Jarlaxle,
Indeed, Rapture.
permit me a moment for you to keep your gaping hole shut, and then you can speak all you wish. I have someone I need to speak to.
Please, by all means. I'll take my gaping hole elsewhere for a moment. I shan't go far. You may have your trial. I've done nothing wrong.
I wish not to trial you.
And Jarlaxle will walk away.
No. Fuck
Just
that.
not distant, not very far.
No,
Not
he
very
doesn't get
far.
to move. Just like Redleaf is gonna
You
stand in
are
front of
rude.
him with her rapier, like he's not moving, not with her in the way.
Please roll me an acrobatics check.
I'll grapple him as well.
24.
Oh, you catch him in it. You, as he tries to cartwheel over you, you equally match his moves. Fair enough, you do have some skill. You weren't so spry the last time we met. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here of my own volition. I believe in trials. I'll wait.
You'll stay right there.
I was trying to give him some privacy.
I don't care what your reasoning is.
I dropped the hallucinatory terrain. God, that's a hell of a word to say. All these years, I only looked up to one person. It's the day you pretty much saved my life in the docks. You know, I always thought, I don't have that light in my eyes. I can never be like my sister. You know, I never thought, when all of the stories I heard, I never really believed that you could erode all of that faith in one day. It's been done in 5 minutes. When I said that I believed in you, I meant believing you to
Welcome to the academy. Please take
keep yourself safe. When I said trust me, I thought you would understand that I would keep myself safe. I don't have anything left for me here. My home's gone. I don't know my family anymore. The people that I, while didn't get along with sometimes, are rioting in the streets. Entreating with crime lords. This is not the play I wanted to be a part of. Goodbye.
Rapture, I wanted everyone to be safe. We're just two people. There are so many more. I wanted it to be safe for kids like us. If we didn't have the gifts we had, we would have died. It could be better, and it wasn't going to get better without something changing.
Who is just as important as what?
Everyone.
I cannot stand with you while you stand by this man. In fact, I will not, sister or not.
I had to sign it. I had to save you. It was the only thing I could do.
I guess we both failed. And I'll just...
I didn't fail. You're alive. And if you never want to see me again, if you're going, that's fine. That's fine because you're alive.
I just turn
That's
around
all I
and go,
need. Bye,
No.
bye.
I may breathe. You took all of that life away. And I start walking towards the city gates.
Relief is gonna look to the other two. Rapier's still at Jarlaxle.
You can really put that down. I am here of my own free will. 3 daggers hover at your throat. If I wanted to, I could kill you in an instant.
Really do yourself no favors.
No, I'm not very charismatic.
Have limited speech. But still, I do believe we should check on Samil. We have to do much to restore order to the city, an order shattered by the man that stands here, and in part by our actions. A trial would be fair. I have held together an entire plane with just my body, but it is Valja who has always known the right and the wrong of the situation. I want a place where the egg and the sapling can grow and not be crushed.
That's all I wanted.
Valja?
Yes. I think a trial. Get a clean slate and start fresh. Now that the danger of the wild magic searches is gone. I think there is no way to hold a trial to just get a mob that is hungry for blood and have them cheer to kill someone. I think we should do this in a calm state, and he did kill in order to execute Blue Tongue, right? I mean, that must have put an end to the wild magic surges. But I do agree with you. He was planning to lead the city into a war, and in part is the cause for the rift in the city. So there should be a trial. I want a place not only where the egg and the sapling are safe, but where people have a chance to defend themselves and their actions before they're just being beheaded. We are not in a butcher shop after all. This is a city full of people.
So
that Red Leaf is just gonna shake her head, put her rapier back in her side, wipe the blood off of her face. Turn away and look to Taziel. And it's like looking at a stranger. And she's just gonna say, I hope the bodies were worth it. And she's gonna go invisible and disappear. Heading towards Rapture.
okay.
Dave has something she would like to do as well. She'll watch Redleaf stow the weapon, and she'll glance to Falja, kind of giving her a look to watch our current prisoner. And she will actually turn towards Lucian on the ground by our feet, and she will sit her little Aarakocra butt down, and she will look at her once friend, and she will say, Chosen is not always better. But we can be better, Lucian. You should have been better with us. And I'm sorry. and then she'll fall silent and wait to see what will happen next.
Pasha will keep Jarlaxle in the eye, so I can't make a run, but she will stand beside Dave and put her hand on her shoulder comfortingly. Give it a squeeze.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I do genuinely believe that a functioning city, one that functions well, is more profitable than anything else, and that is truly my most concern. That, and the welfare of Tazil, who has not been wrong in any of her assumptions during all of this. I feel bad for her most of all. And I leave it to you, players. Between the three of you who remain, how does the trial of Jarlaxle go, and what is the result?
This will be Charlie's suggestion. I believe that we get him to trial, that he is found guilty of crimes of treason against the city, but that weirdly, before he can get his execution, he finds that living is much more profitable than death, and he will find a way out.
And I will enter
But
something
we
else.
Mhm.
When you finish, sorry.
During we work together to create a democratically elected council for the city.
During the trial, Tazil does not speak on Jarlaxle's behalf. However, she does present solid and inarguable truth that the Lord's Council was warmongering before Jarlaxle even got there. And it started before he arrived. He simply hopped on the bandwagon as it seemed profitable at the time.
Tahina?
I like the whole he's put on trial but then escapes, because that's just this Jarlaxle thing to do.
Yeah.
He's going to get out of it somehow, weasel his way out
like-
of there in some fashion.
Mhm.
And I like the idea of having maybe Waterdeep, not masked lords, but maybe open council members.
Okay, so that's 2-1. Let's do that now. Tazil, I ask you, when Jarlaxle is in his cell the night before he is about to be executed, do you do anything? Are you a part of his escape plan?
I think she'd go to him and she would say thank you for surprising me.
Do you think the day went well in the end? Are we to be wed as we agreed?
Well, looking at the current situation, I would doubt it.
Such a shame.
I don't think even that will salvage your reputation now.
No, me neither. But for what it's worth, I would have gone through with it anyway. I think we make an excellent team.
You kept your word, and I didn't know what to say about that at the time. So I think I would have gone through it as well. I signed the paper, didn't I? But yes, at least at the end of the day, Waterdeep is on the right path.
I know that's what you care about mainly.
It is.
And when I'm on the block tomorrow, I hope you know that if you felt as though you had signed that under duress, I would not have forced you into it.
I know you wouldn't. But you never know. Miracles can happen if you hope hard enough.
That they can. And
I'd keep a weather eye out if I were you. I've seen snakes around these dungeons. And she turns and leaves.
As you turn and are walking away, do you look back over your shoulder?
Yeah, very briefly.
Jarlaxle's not in the cell.
She just smirks and wanders off back into the city.
Rapture and Red Leaf, would you like a closing scene before we go to Tahina and Dave, who have a special event?
Yeah.
I refuse Redleaf to come with me.
That sounds like a scene. Would you like to play it out, or would you?
Yeah, sure.
When do you realize it's going to take some time because she's stealthy, but how long once you're outside of the city do you realize that she's there?
Probably not too long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fairly perceptive.
Doesn't help that once you call her out and she drops the invisible spell, that she's just crying and sniffling, like trying to hold it in, but not doing a very good job of it. We lost her. I'm sorry.
We didn't lose anything. I did. You, in fact, have soon to have lost something. Your way. Waterdeep is that way.
Are we not friends anymore?
Redleaf? You never were. And I keep walking.
And in that moment, her heart breaks. She watches a man that she secretly loved just walk away. And she's going to turn around to Waterdeep. And in that moment, all that grief, resentment, and anger is going to harden her heart. And it's going to build into a resentment for a friend that she used to have. She is going to look down at the tattoo that she wills to the surface. See the silver harp and what it meant. And she's going to say in a snarl, he didn't kill all of us. And she's going to set about trying to bring back the Harpers again. And however long it takes, however many people she has to talk to, they're going to do what the Harpers always did. Watch for tyrants. Keep out of the shadows a bit more. And keep a very close eye on Taziel and anyone that they think is abusing their power.
And so, lastly, I suppose we go to Dave and Fauja.
Can I,
Yes,
have a bit?
yes, of course.
So, Rapture walks for a while. A long while. Far away from Waterdeep, from the influence of Harpers, Hidden Lords, and the like, finds himself a small town, uses the gold he had remaining. He buys the inn, renames it the Fey Patron, and then, making right on the words that he told Rapture he told Redleaf and Taziel those days that they were never friends, never siblings. Day by day, minute by minute, he erases all memory of the life he had in Waterdeep, changing it all to a pitiful existence. He was born son of an innkeep, and he would die an innkeep.
Well, I think we're all feeling it. Chat's feeling it. Last we come along.
I like to think that
Carry
Dave
on.
and Kaja with the sapling had a hard time deciding where it should be planted, who it should be entrusted to, the remaining part of the Fey patron of something that never belonged to Dave or Kaja. Taziel, I believe, would be out of reach to them for personal reasons as much as political ones. Redleaf, for a long time, they cannot track because Redleaf is busy about their business. And Rapture, I like to believe that they use as many things as they could to try and track him, but Rapture is Rapture, and a master of illusions and wards and alarms and protections, which we were witness to on many occasions in the original Fey Patron. And I would like to suggest that we planted the sapling in the new square of Waterdeep. And we did as much as we could to help it bloom and grow there. And to one day maybe be a door. To one day maybe mean something. To bring a little magic to tragic and sad lives. Or just to provide shelter on a sunny or rainy day.
I think that Forja would
Because
even
it doesn't
feed
belong to
her
us.
magic into the sapling to make it grow tall and strong and create like a druid growth. As
And
much
if-
as a desert druid can dream of growth.
And if
Oh, ace.
people watch the tree often enough, they'll see a woman with dark green hair and golden eyes, who every so often, usually after dark, is just sitting against the tree and looks like she might be sleeping, but she's usually praying or meditating, just hoping that everyone she met, and that means everyone, is safe and as happy as they can be. And then she slinks back into the dock ward, back down into the underbelly of the city where she is returned to, which is where she came from, and tries to do her best to protect the people who are just like her before and after she met her brother, and try and do right at the very least by them. At least.
Dave
For a
and
while.
Kaja, with the care of the tree completed, have adventures and quests that they still have to take on. And I think after, making sure things were relatively stable, and after hearing the escape of Jarlaxle and seeing the tree grow a little more, they would leave the city too, in the hunt for knowledge and answers and a safe place for their egg.
Well, before you leave the
ogre
city,
comes too.
when you found housing with your egg and the ogre, you also have a job that you may revisit to gain money if you would like to. It's not during the tree's growth that egg will begin to glow more and more until one day one of the shell begins to bulge slightly and there's a tiny crack. A small a beak erupts with fire for plumage. It looks out. and sort of it speaks sort of like not even really Orin, but sort of like Orin in baby talk. It sort of makes a sort of sound. It's more like a purr than anything. And looks to the pair of you.
Bonjour.
As it
Like a phoenix rising.
A phoenix rising, indeed.
As it looks to Falja for a moment, its skin and face sort of change, almost looking like a human baby. And when it looks over to Dave, it sort of becomes more crow-like. But then settles on an image between the two. Fiery, fleshy, beaked.
This is the most beautiful baby I've ever seen. It looks so much like you. Falja says and looks at Dave.
And Dave has like, it looks so much like you.
When
And with the ugliest baby in the world.
And we're going to call it Fiammetta, which means little flame in Italian.
when
Go on.
when Fauja and Dave and their new baby leave the city and they're moving up a hill. I hope this is okay, but there's going to be a figure sitting on top of a large horse covered in dark plate mail with a large busted up greatsword at the side. And as you guys approach, it waves at you. And you hear under the helmet, "The high ground is always good."
Kellic!
And you see the same shaggy hair, new tattoos, a beard now. But
Kellic
this-
Bonewalker, come here, see our child. We are a weird tent, okay?
We'll pan up on the evening sun. Before we fade out, we float across to the tree where Tazeel is sitting. And today, there is a little note sitting at the foot of the tree, a small scroll. Looks like a pigeon scroll. Opening it reveals a familiar hand, just saying, "There are always options." And that is where we will wrap up Season 2 of Wizards and Wardrobes. I'm really sorry we didn't have a break at 3 like I promised. Things got out of hand. I'm sorry, chat, for all the things that you said and did. I didn't see a word. I was just juggling too much. How are we all feeling?
Exhausted emotionally.
I like to think that many years in the future, when Fauja and Dave are adventuring again, they stumble across a tavern, and as they open the door, a voice goes, "Oh, welcome in," and then fades to black. And that's the after credit sequence.
It's like you're in a Marvel movie or something.
I'm a bit of a Marvel movie.
Look like Tiefling Stan Lee.
Goddamn Slade, I swear to God.
Welcome back, Slade. How you doing?
Hey, only 2 of us took damage. Can I just say thank you so much for the misspell book?
I would have been dead.
This is very cool.
So useful and fun.
She still got that right.
Yeah, you can keep it. So, as we wrap up today, we'll go back round in reverse order. I'll just include you, Slade, in the order as we go round, because that's easier for me to just follow the screen. So we will start with Stuart. How do you feel? Tell us, what was your favourite part, not of today's episode, but of the entire season?
Well, I'm fine. I've been a DM long enough to not flinch at stuff like this. I'm usually the one twisting the screws. But I'm good. Like I said, I'm sure you can catch me on here. But yeah, my favorite part is it's got to be when I was in the hospital, and was just having none of it, and was just having a nice, relaxing tea while it all went down. But in the end, Rapture got the end that he deserved, or he believed he deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poetic. And you're changing
poetic.
all your handles soon, right? I've just put them in chat, but like...
Yeah, but it'll just basically be my name, which is Stuart Perry. If you go onto my Twitter right now, you'll see what my name is. Because I've got sick of people calling me Hidammer, and I'm like, who's that? Oh, it's me. It's me.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
Totally fair. Keep an eye out, guys. Keep an eye out. Next, we go to Dave. Or Charlie.
That's me. I was like, who's Dave?
Yeah, sorry.
That's me. Okay, so I am at Frostfire. I finished Call of Cthulhu yesterday. I've just finished Wizard and Wardrobe. Second season. Second time at the end of the season I've been yelling at Slade. So, I mean, it's a tradition that I hope in the future we can come back to as we continue the adventures in the D&D world that Scrat has created for us here. And bravo to Scrat for the whole season, for keeping track of all our craziness, of our shenanigans and chat's shenanigans and his own shenanigans. Let's be clear. Scrat has a lot of shenanigans. My favorite part, I really like the hospital sequences. I thought it was really fun how the two contrasted. I really enjoyed Redleaf's many changes. I thought that was really cool, and it was interesting to see a character who evolved and changed daily when normally we work through arcs and things. And yet Redleaf was always true to who they were, which is something very admirable. And on which note, shout out to Rachel, who played Taziel, who, right or wrong, has stayed true to who she was. And that's one of the hardest things when you're a player is, as a player, you know the right thing to do. You know, the macro right thing. And you also know the logical thing as a player to do to make things right. And it's really hard to go up against your team sometimes, especially in a finale where you know you can't take this back. You don't have time to fix it. And props to everyone here for such beautiful epilogue stories. They were wonderful, heartbreaking, horrific, but very beautiful. So yeah, thank you all. And Little Books of Dave will be finalized very soon. I think we have one more to give away, which we can do in chat right now if you want scrap.
Yeah, we were going to do it on Twitter, didn't we? But we never did.
Well, we never did, so let's do it in chat.
Yeah, let's do it in chat. Why not?
If you don't mind organising that while we do the rest of the...
Yeah, okay, I'll do that very quickly. Whilst I set that up in the background, why don't we go to Tahina?
Hey everyone, I'm Tahina. You can find me on Twitter at Tahina_Andale. My favorite part of season 2, I have to say, was the whole... It was like this trip to the Feywild where the party was split with the ninja pandas attacking and trying to steal us, and a revolution brewing on horizon of Fey, and that was just so strange and such an offset to the whole asylum. And you have to keep the egg warm, Dave. It's still creeping me out. So I think that was my favorite part, but I liked the whole thing. I really adore the end, and I tip my hat to all the players, and of course also to Scratch, who kept this whole chaos in some sort of controlled chaos so that the story could still develop. I love that Slade made a comeback, because I noticed how much I missed the Lucian Forger standoff with them talking to each other like that. And also I think that Rapture, that is really tragic and reminds me of a certain book trilogy. And I hope that one day maybe he can break out of it, and I have hopes. I adored it. It was wonderful.
Really quickly to say thank you as well to Tahina, who was Dave's partner in crime as Valja throughout all of it. Best partner in crime, best friends, it's the best shit.
Yeah, it is the best ship, the friendship. That's David Forger. Yeah, I would never have had thought that would happen when we set out in season 1. And this was just so, the way that a relationship grew and what they mean to each other, it's just so beautiful. And I really, I tip my hat to Charlie for playing a Kenku and not being able to normally talk and voice her thoughts and having to make do with other people's words and remembering them and saying them, that you really could tell, oh yeah, this is something that Kellic said, and oh, this is something that Lucian said, and this is something that Tazi said. I bow to you. That was amazing. Very well done.
Thank you.
And I would like to say officially, Derek, we still love you. It's all good.
He didn't know what he was giving me, to be fair.
Yeah, you did. You just gave him the rifle loaded for bear, and he used it on us.
Did you like Professor Oppenheimer him? I don't know what I created.
I just simply said, look, he offered me, he was like, hey, if you need it, I can get you Jarlaxle's stat block. And I was like, oh, hey, that'd be great. Would you mind balancing the secret so that he could be a strong rival for Jarlaxle? That's all I said. I didn't tell him that the person we're coming to next, Slade, had actually been the secret all along, or any of the other things. Slade! Oh, hi!
Hello. Yes, I'm Slade. Just want to say it was awesome to reprise the role of Lucian Caveborn, coming back with a cameo role, and finally getting to fulfill his wish and his dark desires that built up through season 1. So that was very cool to come back and see all these new players as well, interact with the new characters. It was awesome dynamic to see there. I love the way that this ended. I think it was fantastic. And yeah, super excited to see where all these other players go to with their characters. So yeah, it's just enough from me. So yeah, we'll pass it over to Tazil, I believe.
Tazil, yes. Oh, hi, Rachel.
The one with the book, I remember her.
Yeah, the one messing with all of your plans.
Fight chaos with chaos, right? Yeah, so I am Talinia on Twitter. I am also Rachel, and I am also Tazil. And that was a lot of hard choices in that episode. Man, it could have gone either way, but I tried to stick to Tazil's guns as best as I could. That was amazing good fun, and I've still got somewhat of a voice. And I think, to be fair, having half a voice actually made any lines that I did deliver much more fun. But yeah, that was just amazing. That's supposed to be like one of the best D&D games I've probably ever played. It was amazing. I love emotional moments. I live for them. I'm a bit of an empath, so those are real tears, and it was so good. It was so delicious. So yeah, thank you so much for having me to play. In love with these characters so much. I'm so sad it's over. Favorite moment, God, it's so hard to choose. I loved all the shenanigans in the Feywild, but I love them just as much as all of the emotional bits, like the chats that Tazzy had with Redleaf about family stuff. I love those. And like all of the parting scenes at the end were just so good. So good.
So juicy.
So juicy. And I love that no one actually finally died. So like the story goes on for everyone. And I love that. Oh yeah, actually talking about things. So the other thing I do on Mondays, you can see me playing a vampire in Blood on the Thames, which is a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition live stream, which is at 7 p.m. UK time on Mondays. I'm also going to be in a Scrat game on Sunday coming up, which I'm really excited because I think it's a system I've never played before, so I'm really looking forward to learning that because every Scrat game is just a joy. So
now you're just laying it on.
All the appreciation. But yeah, that's me, and I've had a great time, guys. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And last but by no means least, Chorus RPG, Redleaf Kellic. Oh, hi.
Oh. So exhausted after all that. I think what stood out to me was was Taziel, to be honest. Just seeing a character just stick to their guns like that, and it, like, it's a perfect like showing of like how even with like the best intentions you can turn into the bad guy, and like it's really hard to pull that kind of character off at the table. So that was awesome. Thanks, Stuart and Rachel, for coming on and being on the show with us. It was awesome. You guys were great. Slade, it's good to see you, but I hate you. I hate you so much. And of course, I knew that you were going to show up at some point. I just didn't know when. But I'm glad you came in when you did. Charlie and Tahina, thank you so much for playing with us and playing with me and being here for the past 2 seasons and being the best character relationship the show has ever had.
And may ever have, to be fair.
And Scrat, thank you for being the DM and pulling us on this wild ride. But I guess you can find me on Twitter and Twitch.com at my same name, KrosRPG. Starting on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be on the Grimjack channel for his take on Dungeons of the Mad Mage. We're going to be playing a paladin by the name of Gorbrin Moonstar. And on Sundays, I DM on the Soulbear RPG channel through my own homebrew sword and sorcery Roman inspired game called The Shattered Eye. So if you're interested in checking that out, come by on Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and come watch characters try to survive in a cutthroat world. But yeah, I think that's all for me.
Thank you so much. As the DM, I think it's gradually becoming my brand to make the bad guys questionable and try and make players divisive and want to be on their side even if they are deplorable. I did my best to make Jarlaxle as deplorable as possible, even going so far as to taking on as best as I can my Bricktop voice, which is by far my most detestable voice. Rachel, thank you for not only going along with it, but thank you for being that person that was willing to stand there and do that. We were talking in private chat about the agreements that they had made. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
That was so much fun.
Red Leaf Rapture. Damn that ending. That was something. In fact, that's something I need to say to all of you. The epilogues from Rapture, Redleaf, and Taziel, with the tears and the dynamics between Rapture and the other two of you. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. You don't often get to DM that. Slade, thank you so much for coming back. As we have the whole Wizards and Wardrobes family here for the end. And Dave and Fauja. Thank you so much, you guys, for like not only consistently playing your good, strong characters, which I know are people's favorites out there, but also for playing that strong couple that doesn't need to be a romantic couple. You know what I mean? I think you've represented a lot there, and that was really powerful to watch. And yeah, I just hope you guys all enjoyed it as much as I did.
Oh, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
As for me, here are my social links. Go and check them out. Here's my Patreon. If you want to support, it's one of the best ways you can do it. Talking of support, thank you so much. I haven't addressed the stream goal once. You've doubled it. More than doubled it. So, thank you all for that today. The support this close to Christmas is so appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, amazing. We also have merch at the moment. If you head over to Redbubble and use the code Robot25, you can buy yourself a Christmas jumper or something else that you've got with that. I haven't forgotten the book. I'm waiting until the end. If everyone is in with the code FireEgg, I will roll it, but I'll wait till I've finished going through the other things. This is the worst thing about living with a cat hair. I'm gonna struggle through it. Next we have Bird in the Storm Publishing. By the way, if you do want to get into the thing, I'll just post it again. Please type FireEgg like that into chat, and that will get you into the giveaway for the last little book of Dave. Bird in the Storm Publishing, they create. They're going to be creating content for us next year. We'll be working through quarter 1 to have something ready for quarter 2. Also, Mage Hand Press. Mage Hand Press created the Dark Matter expansion for 5e set in space, and we will be sorry, that's ruined me, Charlie. Fiery GG. We'll be doing the finale on Thursday at 1 PM. Check it out if you like the sound of it. Go and check out the links on both of those. And that is all she wrote. So everyone, prepare. Here comes the roll. If you haven't pressed it already, I'm afraid we're ending the stream, so you've run out of time. The winner will be...
Also, if you have won a little book of Dave, please DM me.
Okay, Sweet Photogons didn't enter. I don't understand this Nightbot thing. It's sitting there with the whole illegible users thing, but it doesn't actually do anything. Fimbrius also didn't enter, I don't think. Did you enter, Fimbrius? I think you did, right?
I mean,
Maybe
if
Sweet
like,
Photogons did.
like a little book of Dave. You know what? If you would like a little book of Dave and your name is Sweet Photogons or Thimbrius, you can DM me and I will send them.
That'd be great. Thank you so much. You did enter. Okay, you both did enter. This bot is broken. Guys, do you know what? I'm not sponsored by them, so I'll happily say this. Don't use Nightbot. Take the time. Go and find a better bot. Okay? It's a load of shit. Go and find a better bot. Sorry, Nightbot. Sponsor me and I'll talk better about you.
Don't think that's how sponsorship
Also,
works.
if anyone else does want a little book of Dave and they didn't win one, you can DM me too and we'll see what we can figure out.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it, everyone. We're going to go across. Today we're going to go and spend a little time with 4, who is playing some Smite. We'll be back in 2 hours for the finale of Sacred Ashes with Archmage Derek, who's been ruining people with his creations. It's all him, nothing to do with me. I personally prefer the Streamlabs bot. I'd love to figure out how to use it because I believe that's Ankbot, which is what I really want to use, but I just can't figure the damn thing out because whenever I Google Ankbot, it tells me to use the Streamlabs bot. I don't know where the hell it is. I'll work it out one day before next season. There'll be improvements. There's always improvements. We're gonna go raid 4. Everyone, bring along that raid cry there. There's chaos all going on. People are rioting. Tell people what happened here today. Tell people about the emotions we evoked, and we'll see you in a couple of hours for the next bout on 7th C. Keep evoking emotions, everyone. We'll see you later on.